Hey there, Poke fans. Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Matt, and we're going to continue our seasonal ladder climb using a team we built from scratch. Now, we've already hit Master Ball, and we're not doing too well within the win-loss record. I think we're currently 9-11. I didn't record anything during the weekend, which is unfortunate for me, but the Peoria Regional was going on, and I don't really want to take anyone from watching that one to watching my content. I know that it's on demand and you guys can watch it whenever you'd like, but I'm also watching the live stream, so I kind of can't do two things at once, and there wasn't any way that I was going to do that and take the thunder away. The regional for Peoria, Illinois was pretty dope. A lot of different types came up, so I'm kind of excited to see what you guys build in the future, and I'm going to be taking some inspiration from that as well, which may or may not be reflecting this video today. So next weekend is about the same. Sacramento is doing another regional, so you guys will have a video Monday through Friday. So I'll be doing 5 matches to make up for the loss of what the weekend was supposed to bring up, and then you guys will have and then we'll take the weekend off, and then we'll do the 5 matches after that, because we need to do 100 and we're currently at 20. So yeah, lots of battles going on this month. But a couple of things before we get started. If you guys haven't watched my community tab, I found out something very, very interesting. A couple things actually. One, my Arcanine was not fully hyper trained. That has been completely rectified. It's now done. So the matches up until this point have been kind of flawed. Yes, it's worked in some aspects, but then others it didn't. His defense and special defense, which should be at the same, were not. Obviously, one was weaker than the other, which is why he wasn't able to survive a lot of the hits that he should have. I don't really care about the special attack, but it's kind of whatever at that point, but that's why. We also went from Heat Proof to Hospitality for Sinistra, and we're also going to be switching around a couple of move sets here from Calm Mind to Trick Room, and I think we're going to bring back Rage Powder, but we're not going to do that for this video because I'm going to try Hospitality first, and then we'll be trying out a couple of new things that a friend of mine discovered either during the live stream for the regional or before it. I'll have to go back over the chat logs to see, but well, it's a cool thing. We also changed this Terra to Water, so we do have 2 Water Terra Pokemon. I still need to change Iron Hands to Grass. We have Urshifu being the same Water Terra with close combat. I still have Iron Head in case I have to run up against Fluttermanes. But most Fluttermanes right now are kind of like bringing in their defensive game, so I'll probably have to change something else to make it so I can knock them out. But Surge and Strike's all the way. Garchomp is going to stay the same, and we have no changes for Tornadus. Actually, we do. We have one. We put Protect on Tornadus. We did that. We also put Protect on Arcanine. We took out Howl. I wasn't able to use it as often as I wanted to, and for that, we put on Will-O-Wisp. So there's that. So let's get into our matches, shall we? All right, first up, we've got Iron Hands, Sinistra, Tornadus, Chi-Yu, Urshifu, and Fluttermane. Mostly special attackers on that side of the field, so we don't really have to deal with intimidating too much. We will still use it as an option, but it's not fired, if that makes sense. So because of that, it would be really good to have Trick Room now for the Sinistra, but I do have one over speed, but I'm gonna need to outspeed them anyway. So what we're gonna do is bring in Tornadus, Garchomp, Urshifu, and Sinistra in case they bring out their Iron Hands. That way I can swap in whenever I need to. I do not see ground type user, no Landorus, so that's gonna be very, very interesting. Ooh, nice decal. Let's go. And we've got Fluttermane and Chi-Yu. Okay. It's a good open. Lowers down special defenses to everyone. Fluttermane gets the Photosynthesis boost due to booster energy, and speed was heightened. So we're going to completely do this. I'm going to Terra Fire. I mean, Earthquake is effective. What would Rock Slide do? Yeah, Terra Fire will do Rock Slide. That way we can... I mean, Earthquake is good, but if he swapped up to like right now to bring in someone else, It would be kind of bad. Sinistra. See, that earthquake would not have done anything, and the rock slide may not do as much either. But now we survive anything that Fluttermane pops out because it's not any items right now. So there's that. But we do the Tailwind. We now become faster than the Fluttermane, and Rock Slide comes out and maybe gets the flinch. But we do considerable amount to the Fluttermane. Fluttermane is flinch, could not move. Now we do Bleak Wind, and I continue doing Rock Slides, because now I outspeed. Now Sinistra could do Trick Room, right? It would be their best benefit to do Trick Room against me. I don't know if that's Heat Proof or Hospitality. I didn't see anyone get healed, so there's that. Fluttermane gets retreated. They're gonna bring out Iron Hands. Good call. So now Tornadus needs to leave the field. They're gonna Terra. It's gonna go to the Sinistra. And you are becoming Dragon. Okay. Rock Slide. Doesn't do anything to... I mean, it's a good defensive type to not get hit with a Bleak Wind. Citrus Berry will activate on the Sinistra. And Calm Mind. Okay, so Wild Charge is going to hit into Tornadus here, and I don't want that, so I'm going to swap out to my own Sinistra, and I'm just going to Rock Slide. I still outspeed, so I don't have to worry about anything. Fake Out can also come out as well, so I'm going to swap into here. So Fake Out, okay, it goes to the Garchomp, but it does do a little bit of damage because of the Rock Slide. Machagacha isn't going to do a whole lot to either one, but Sinistra avoids it. That's dope. It is a 90. Not very much. Not very much. I'm going to Strength Sap the Iron Hands for sure. Rock Slide. It's going to miss someone. I don't know who it is. The Sinistra. Strength Sap. Lower down its attack, and I'm going to go up in health if I did. Strength Sap over to my own Garchomp. It's going to start healing that Sinistra a lot. But Iron Hands was flinched, could not move, and Tailwind is now gone. I'm going to Shadow Ball and continue on with the Rock Slides. It's missing someone. Who is it? Sinistra again. Shadow Ball. Right into that Iron Hands. Does not get the KO. Interesting. Okay, I need to get this. We slam. Over to the Sinistra. Not so much. Leftovers kicks in. I need to get Garchomp out of here. Calm Mind. And we'll bring out Tornadus. So he's got one up on me on Calm Mind. Bringing out Tornadus so that I don't have to worry about the -1 to my Calm Mind, because I'm 1 point faster than their Sinistra. That's dope. It's so funny. Calm Mind on them. Okay, that's their third. It's not good. And Heavy Slam. Ooh, that's a crit. That's a crit. Okay. Leftovers is going to keep us alive for a little bit here. Now I could do Machagacha or could, because it's not going to do anything to that other one. I think Strength Sap might be best. And I'm kind of thinking, I mean, I could taunt that other one. Yeah, let's do that. Let's taunt the other one. Taunt. No more Calm Minds for you. Strength Sap. Make you -2. And I get all that at HP. And whoop. Gotcha. That's a lot of damage. There's that wild charge. Even at -2, it's still going to do a lot. Recoil. But here comes the cool thing. Garchomp comes out now. And I'm going to Strength Sap the Iron Hands. And I'm going to Dragon Claw the Sinistcha. Not enough to KO, but it gets him really, really weak. Gonna heal up. Make that Iron Hands -3. Comes Machagacha. Machagacha can't do anything. Can't protect. Can't really do anything. Gonna heal up twice. That's a good amount of damage. Heavy Slam. To my Sinistcha. Alright. We're gonna do our own Machagacha. And I'm gonna Dragon Claw. There's Sinistcha. I outspeed right now, so he either has to switch out Iron Hands or just kind of accept that I'm probably going to knock out both of them. Probably. Right? That's still a +3 in all of those stats, so it's unlikely, but it would be probable. Brings out Fluttermane, so it's going to ignore my my stats. But Iron Hands also leaves the field. Brings out Chi-Yu. Okay. Dragon Claw does nothing to the Fluttermane. Machagacha. Oof. Heals up twice. We'll heal up a third time, do the leftovers. Now, what do I want to do here? I could swap into Urshifu. Oh, Fluttermane's on the field. Sinistcha's kind of in a terrible spot. Shadow Ball. No. Yeah. Swap Urshifu. Dragon Claw. The Chi-Yu. Because right now I outspeed Fluttermane because that was the booster energy. So it's not 307, it's 205. Oh, just a one hit left. Moonblast into the Garchomp. It is not gonna, like, obviously it's gonna knock him out. But at least he took a hit so that we can get set up for next turn. Heat Wave comes out. That's still a lot. That must be specs. No, left orb, and it fainted. Sinistcha comes back out. Hospitality is going to activate. Hospitality. Whoop. Hospitality. Whoop. Drink down all that he made. Awesome. We're gonna Aqua Jet the Flutter Mane, and I'm going to Matcha Gotcha. Yes. That's what I'm gonna do. Aqua Jet. Boop. Goes down Flutter Mane. Okay, Matcha Gotcha. Not very effective, but I get a little bit of the healing. I mean, I don't need... Sinister doesn't really need... Oh, there goes the burn, though. Now it's on a timer. Does Matcha Gotcha. My Urshifu avoided it. It's not going to get as much healing. Goes up by 1. Should get hit with the burn now. As my Matcha Gotcha just continues to heal. Sinistra, not Matcha Gotcha. Oh, they still had one more? Iron Hands, let's go. Okay. I was thinking I was done. Getting close to that. No, I was not. But now I have a way to heal. So, Aqua Jet, because I have to. I can't swing into anything else. We're going to Aqua Jet into the Iron Hands, and I'm just going to Matcha Gotcha again, hoping that this will get the KO. Fake Out, go into the Urshifu. Well, that's unfortunate, so it can't attack. My Matcha Gotcha will go in. Oh, that might have done it. That might have done it. But this is going to hit. Oh, Iron Hands gets hit with the burn. That's dope. I go up a little, like a lot. He's going to be like full health. That much. That's the shit with the Calm Mind. You could have knocked out Urshifu. Are you kidding me? Bro, no. You had an out. Like it was a really, like a really big out. Don't get me wrong. It was a big out. We're gonna Aqua Jet now the Sinistra. We're gonna Matcha Gotcha, and this should be the double KO here. Should be. Even if they're off typing, it should be enough to knock them out. No more fake outs. Aqua Jet. Boop. Puts it down there. Matcha Gotcha goes out because I am one stat higher. Oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. Dang it. That Calm Mind saved it. Strength Sap. Off the Urshifu. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's going to be like full health. Yep. But that's okay. Because now I can start focusing on healing here. I'm going to Calm Mind. Jet. Whoop. Not very effective. Well, that's what happens when you're Scarf, guys. It's not the ideal outcome, but it is what it is. So now he's +2, I'm +1. He's on a timer, I am not. And I'm going to essentially be doing double damage. We're going to Calm Mind again. Boop. Now he can Strength Sap, right? He can do that and go back up to full HP. I'm not worried about that because of the fact that I'm also going to be just as hardened as he is. Now, if I had Surging Strikes, this would be a completely different thing, but I'm locked into Aqua Jet. Thankfully, it's got a lot of PP. We'll go one more. This is going to be our win condition. Sinistra's going to have to do it. We might both go at +6. He's so funny if we do. Here comes Matcha Gotcha. This probably will knock out Urshifu. It does. Honestly, he should have went Strength Sap first. Because now that timer for him is not going to be as good. Because I get leftovers, and we can trade matcha gachas. Let's go Shadow Ball. Let's see what this does. That's a lot. They go Calm Mind, so now they're +4 while I'm +2. Alright, here we go. Shadow Ball again. I move faster, so... Oh, down to 1 HP! It's not enough. Come on. Yep, that burn sent it in. Okay. That burn did it, and I outspeed. Nice fight. Nice fight. Match 1 was insane. All right, next match is up. We've got Heatran, Dragonite, Urshifu, Moongus, Chien-Pao, and Fluttermane. Okay, so we do have quite a bit of worrisome Pokemon here. Let's see. Fire type's going to be useful here, but also weak against rocks. Urshifu could take out a lot of Pokemon here. Okay, so I think walking in with like Tornadus, Urshifu, Arcanine just for the switch-ins, and then maybe Sinistcha? Maybe? I kind of like the idea of maybe having Iron Hands. I don't think Garchomp's going to be useful here at all. I mean, Dragon Claw against that, Dragonite would be incredibly useful. But if I need to switch in for like a possible extreme speed, if I can read that, I think Sinistcha would be best. Well, yeah, we'll try this. We'll leave Garchomp and Iron Hands in the back. Fake Out would probably be really, really good, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. So we'll give this a try. All right. Chien-Pao Dragonite. Tornadus Urshifu. Sort of Ruin. Okay, Tornadus is automatically get one-shotted by Icicle Crash or anything that Chien-Pao can do. So we're gonna do Terra, Tailwind, Terra Ghost Tailwind to Iron Head and close combat work. Surgeon Strikes into the Chien-Pao. God, this beat hits. If you find any remixes online, let me know. There's a couple that I like truly adore, and one of them's Family Jewels, and he does really, really well. Oh, love like rock metal covers. All right, so they Terra. It's gonna be the Terra normal Dragonite. So here we go. We have Extreme Speed business with the Choice Band. Extreme Speed's gonna go right into the Urshifu. Should not get the KO, but it might because Chien-Pao is out there. But no, he will live with 4 HP. Let's go. Tailwind from the Tornadus goes in, and now Surgeon Strikes into that Chien-Pao, and it is a 3-hit KO. And Focus Sash ain't gonna save you. Nice try, Boobaloo. Hit 3 times, knocked out your Chien-Pao friend, and I barely survived. Thank goodness. All right. Heatran comes right on out. So we just still do have to worry about the business with Dragonite. So how do we combat this? We're stuck in the Surging Strikes. So what I think I'm gonna do is Bleak Wind to proc Dragonite to break its shield. Swap in to Arcanine. Not gonna get hit by hardly anything from the fire, but I'm also gonna. That's not multi-scale. Inner Focus comes in for the Dragonite. Here comes the extreme speed. Okay, so Inner Focus is that. Takes it down to half. That's more appropriate. Bleak Windstorm comes in after that, and it does a considerable amount of damage to the Dragonite. Speed fell on the Heatran. Heatran's going to do Heat Wave, and it's going to miss the Tornadus. Hit the Arcanine, but not very much. Citrus Berry gets activated by the Arcanine, and Arcanine goes, yep, thank you. So, will he live another one? He will. So, Bleak Wind, and then we're going to go ahead and I want to do Will-O-Wisp to that Dragonite. Inner Focus prevents Intimidate. Does not draw, or like forget everything else. And I'm believing that is a choice band Dragonite. So, even if they swap out here, whatever they swap out to, if it's a physical attacker, they're going to get burnt. Which then puts that Pokemon on a timer. It's not poison. Toxic is far the best thing that you can use. Swap out to Dragonite, and here comes the other person I can't read, and it's Amoonguss. Bleak Wind misses someone, misses the Heatran. Procs a Citrus Berry on that Amoonguss, and here comes the Will-O-Wisp, which will miss the Amoonguss. I like how he could just barely dodge. Tornadus takes a ton of hits from that Heat Wave, but it's still going to stand strong. This time, I don't... Yeah, we'll just Flare Blitz into the Amoonguss. Amoonguss will protect. Good call. Bleak Wind Storm misses the Amoonguss because of Protect. Will hit the Heatran for how much? Not enough to do nothing. Flare Blitz goes into the protected Amoonguss. Earth Power goes right into the Arcanine. He's leaving me open. Why did you do that? You left me open. Because now I could do this. I could do this. Okay, so I currently outspeed, right? We don't have Tailwind. I don't have to worry about outspeeding. I could just taunt the Amoonguss. So no Rage Powders. Well, Rage Powder is going to go first. If he does Rage Powder, it will go first. So Bleak Wind to maybe hit the Amoonguss. Surgeon Strikes into the Heatran. Rage Powder, so we predicted that. Rage Powder does go first. Bleak Wind hits the Amoonguss, knocks him out. We now get to ignore Amoonguss completely, and we go right into the Heatran, getting our third KO of the match. It's now 1v3, and that Dragonite's the only thing in the back that he has to worry about. And guess what, guys? We could literally swap out. Now, like, if I was that player, I can go, okay, well, Extreme Speed is not going to be the thing that I want to be put into, because this is the only Pokemon I have left. So with that in mind, what we need to do is we need to protect Tornadus, and we need to swap out Urshifu for Sinistcha. Because then if that's Stomping Tantrum... Okay, never mind. Battle's canceled. Okay, so the Hive Mind thought that I had, right? Stomping Tantrum goes into Urshifu, which isn't going to do anything because Sinistcha's grass. He could also do like another wind move or like any other move, like Icy Wind, Low Kick, anything else, and I had kind of like out. As long as it wasn't Ice Punch, I had the out. But since that is most likely a banded Terra Normal Dragonite that only has extreme speed on it, I don't think it would have done anything. But at the same time, that is a inner focus Dragonite. It's only going to be able to survive maybe 1 to 2 more turns. So maybe the give up there was mostly appropriate. Still, we came out with another dub. Let's go. All right, next matchup. We've got Goldengo, Iron Hands, Urshifu, Ursaluna, Sneasler, and Kilowattrel. An off-brand team for sure, but all very strong Pokemon. How are we going to deal with Goldengo? I have no idea, but we're going to try to figure that out. Okay, we do not have to worry about anyone really outspeeding us, but we do have Kilowattrel there that does get Tailwind. So with that being in mind, I need to get set up with Tornadus first. Ursaluna is weak against grass attacks and is also weak against ice attacks, but is also weak against water. I think Urshifu should be our next one to come up. Iron Hands is also a Pokemon that's in there. We do have 1, 2, 3 physical attackers and 3 special attackers. Arcanine could still be useful here, but we cannot get stuck with ground attacks since fire and rock are weak against ground, so it becomes 4 times weak. We're going to walk in with Sinistra instead, and we could bring in Garchomp or the Rock Slide nonsense that he could bring in. You can also bring in Earthquake as well, but mostly Rock Slide, and that's what we're going to walk in with. Now, we could have went in with Iron Hands and brought in like Drain Punch, but a lot of their Pokemon aren't affected by Drain Punch. Like Goldengo cannot be hit by Drain Punch, and it isn't really affected by anything else but maybe Thunder Punch on my side. So I'm just going to forget about that and just bring in Kilowattrel and Ursaluna on their side. So we're set up good because now Urshifu can go straight into that Ursaluna, which was going to change into maybe Terra Normal to get off that Hyper Voice. So we need to keep that in mind. We are first going to go ahead and get, we could Taunt or we could Tailwind. If that is a, well, this could be a Discharge set too, right? So we need to first get rid of that Kilowattrel. We're going to Tailwind, Terra. Yes. Ooh. Yeah, Tailwind, Water, and Surging Strikes into the Ursaluna. Ursaluna is probably going to need to be taken down first before their Tailwind. Probably a bad choice. Kilowattrel does need to go down, but if I taunt him, I still outspeed the Ursaluna, which is totally fine. But if it's Discharge, both my Pokemon go down this turn, and I don't want that. So we're just going to try to skip it. They're going to Terra. It's going to be the Ursaluna. It's going to be Water. It's not Water. It's Poison instead. Interesting. Makes them ×2 weak against, what is it? Ground types. So Garchomp, who we brought, is going to be really, really beneficial here. Surging Strikes, there is no Tailwind on that Kilowattrel. Goes right into that Ursaluna. Is not going to knock him out, but he gets really, really close. It might knock him out, actually. Oh, it does! Just barely. The 3-hit combo knocks him out. He goes down. Now, Kilowattrel, what are you going to do? It's not Discharge. It cannot be Discharge. Thunderbolt. Okay. Goes right into the Tornadus, and it's going to knock him out 100%. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is at that point. We'll walk in with our Garchomp. Because why not? And they bring out their Iron Hands. Good call here. So now there's a couple of options that I do have here. I can either Earthquake and hit Iron Hands specifically, or Rock Slide, which is going to be super effective against the Kilowattrel. And then I have to select into Surging Strike still. And I might go straight into that Kilowattrel slot, just so that I can knock it down and it does not get Tailwind. Rock Slide. Barrier pops up for the Kilowattrel, lowering down that rock damage. I still have Tailwind. Not very effective against the Iron Hands. It's a crit on that Iron Hands though. And the Tree Berry lowers down the attack, but here comes that Surging Strikes. Terra Water right into that slot. One hit, that Kilowattrel. No Tailwind for you. and it's now 2v4. Kilowattrel fainted. Iron Hands does Ice Punch to the Garchomp. It is ×4 weak. Rough Skin kicks in, but now, I mean, he does have Ice Punch. That's gonna hurt our Sinistcha a lot. And when I said 2-4, I meant 2-2. I like this. This is like an all-out brawl. This is dope. Okay, Urshifu comes out, and that is a single strike Urshifu. So we do have 2 strength sappers that we can take advantage of, but I do not like Iron Hands being as strong as he is. I can't switch out of Surging Strikes, unfortunately, so we're gonna hope that we knock out this Urshifu with our Rapid Strike. Surging Strikes goes right into that Urshifu. Does no counter for the Sucker Punch. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit will knock him out all the way through. It is now 2 versus 1. And I have Tailwind, so Strength Sap comes in, which is going to minus that Iron Hands -1. So maybe Ice Punch doesn't knock out my dude. Wild Charge goes right into Urshifu, and it lives because of that -1. Let's go. Let's go. Strength Sap again to make it -2, and I'm going to Surging Strikes that slot. It's now 2v1. Urshifu is standing strong. It's about half health. He probably won't survive another attack from Wild Charge, which is what I was really worried about. Battle's canceled instead. Guys, we are 3-0. Let's go. Oh, Sinistcha, you saved my bacon again. Let's go. I kind of don't want to change the EV set. Like, you guys have no idea. I'll tell you guys at the end, like, what his EVs are, because they're insane. I haven't made the changes yet. That's even better. All right, next fight. We've got Chi-Yu, Clefairy, Zapdos, Infernape. That's an interesting one. Landorus, Therian, and we've got Gastrodon. So, Infernape, what do you do? I haven't seen you in the roster, so that's going to be very fun to watch how you interact with everyone else. Excuse me. Okay, so the abilities that pardon me. The abilities that Infernape has is Blaze, which raises his fire attacks in a pinch or at red HP, and Iron Fist, 20% increase to all fist attacks. So he's probably walking in with a bunch of punches and fisticuffs. So, but I do not see anyone on that side of the field that can outspeed me. I think Zapdos does get Tailwind, but he is going to be versing kind of like the opposite typing. We've got 1, 2, 3 special attackers. I think Clefairy is a special attacker. Everyone, no, Gastrodon is too. So it's not heavily on that side. So we're not going to bring in Arcanine. There's no reason to. We'll bring in Garchomp, Iron Hands, Sinistcha, and Urshifu instead. We'll leave Tornadus in the back because I do not know if Zapdos is going to be using Tailwind. Although if he does, I mean, GG, he's got me. He's going to be able to outspeed me with a lot of these Pokemon. Zapdos's base speed by himself is 100, but with Garchomp out there, I'm going to be able to ignore a lot of that. Checking up, he does get Tailwind. So if he uses Tailwind, I'm kind of screwed. But if he doesn't, I'm kind of in the clear here. So we'll see. Infernape, it's the floor as well as Zapdos. I'm going to Rock Slide. And that's going to hit the Zapdos for a lot. And I'm also going to Fake Out the Infernape. I don't want to get punched in the face right now. Oh, Fake Out from the Infernape goes right into the Garchomp. Going to prop its Rough Skin though, and I'm gonna boop. Maybe I should have just punched the Zapdos. Well, Zapdos does Tailwind, so the thing I wanted to prevent does actually happen, so that kind of sucks. Okay, so do we need Terra? I mean, they got double speed now. I don't know if it's gonna make a whole lot of difference right now, so it's just a kind of the bad part, guys. So, but we do have to worry about Infernape punching or ice punching Garchomp. So we're gonna Terra, Rock Slide, and hope for the best there. we're going to Drain Punch the Infernape so that we get a little bit more of that HP back. Because it could also punch like Iron Hands. But there's no Ground Punch move that as far as I'm aware. So we don't have to worry about that. He is going to retreat the Infernape, which that's cool. To bring out the Landorus. It's going to intimidate us to lower down our attack. But I am going to use Rock Slide when it is my turn. Hopefully that'll flinch. But again, they're going to outspeed us. If Tailwind's up, I can't do anything about that. Ugh. Where's Cinderace when I need a course change? Port change. Okay, so the Rock Slide does come out. Thunderbolt goes into the Iron Hands. Does not a lot. They were probably thinking I was going to swap out. Drain Punch into Landorus. Does very little damage. And I heal for very little as well. But that's still okay. We're going to Rock Slide. I still went before Zapdos? That's really, really interesting. Yeah, I think Thunder Punch is going to have to be used on the Zapdos. It doesn't affect Landorus that much. Now, Landorus could do Stomping Tantrum, and he's getting ready to, it seems, with the with that. That's not good. We're still hitting the Zapdos for a little bit of damage. Zapdos flinch, could not move, so there's that. Thunder Punch, boop! Still, ooh, the Rocky Helmet. That's dope. I mean, he's gonna hit both. What do I do? What do I do? Garchomp's gonna Rock Slide. And I'm gonna Heavy Slam into the Landorus? I mean, he could Earthquake and knock out both my Pokemon right now. That is a +2. Yeah, let's plan for that. Let's get Iron Hands out. Garchomp is pretty much set in stone here. He may get knocked out. I'm hoping he does not. But Sinistra out here was going to be able to heal due to Strength Sap. Heal for Hospitality as well, so that's cool. Stomping Tantrum is going to go into that Sinistra slot, so we did call that was going to happen. Here comes the Rock Slide. Is going to knock out the Zapdos. It does. Does nothing to the Landorus, unfortunately, but we are 3v4 because we saved our Iron Hands for sure. And their Tailwind is now gone, and their user or Tailwind is now out of here. So now we now outspeed that that Pokemon. But now we're gonna swap to Urshifu because the Fake Out's gonna come out, and I'm gonna go ahead and just Matcha Gotcha that side of the field. I'm gonna hit this Landorus for a lot, which may knock it out. But if I call this correctly, Fake Out cannot hit my Sinistra because it's Ghost. So what I would like to see happen is Urshifu comes out, like, okay, this is all good and gone. Here comes the Fake Out. No Fake Out so far. Here comes the Terra first. Goes over to the Landorus. Is going to disrupt healing with the thing. But this could be Terra Blast, flying, Terra flying Landorus. Fake Out does hit the Urshifu, so we did clock that. Terra Blast. Is it going to go into the Sinistra? It does not. Goes into the Urshifu instead. And it does get the KO. But guess what also happens? Matcha Gotcha. Swirly, swirly, swirl, and boop. Does not get the Landorus knockout, but I heal for both of the Pokemon. So it's unfortunate that, you know, Urshifu did get knocked out. But now I can bring in Garchomp, which is going to outspeed both of those guys. And Rock Slide, and it's going to, one, knock out Landorus, unless he switches here, which would be the thing to do. But I'm going to Rock Slide. It's going to hit both. And I'm going to then Shadow Ball. Should I Shadow Ball the Infernape, or should I switch the... You know what? I'm going to switch Sinistra out because that Infernape is a little bit scary. They withdrew the Landorus, so that's a good call to get the -1. Sent out the Clefairy for the Friend Guard. We're going to bring back Sinistra, and we're going to bring back out Iron Hands. Rock Slide comes out. It's a decent amount of damage. Fire Punch. Oh, that was going to go right into Sinistra. So I'm glad that we swapped out there. Rock Slide again, and we're going to go ahead and just fake out the Clefairy. Now, if it's Helping Hand, fake out is worthless. But if it's anything else, fake out is really, really good. So hopefully we get the call here. Now, it could swap out, right? You could bring back in Tornadus, but it's no longer the +2. Infernape does get swapped out, so here comes that Landorus, which is going to -1 our guy's attacks again. But at this point in time, I don't think that's going to really matter. Fake out goes right into the Clefairy. It can't do anything, so whatever it was planning on doing, it can't do anymore. Rock Slide will now knock out this Landorus. Won't do anything to the Clefairy, but that's totally fine. The thing is here that we have to swap out Garchomp because we're running out of moves for Rock Slide. So we are kind of in like a terrible slot at the moment, but we'll do our best. We'll do one more. We have 2 more Rock Slide attacks, so we'll do one. And I'm going to go ahead and Heavy Slam into the Clefairy. Now, Infernape is going to outspeed me, but I'm going to be able to really take advantage of what's going to happen here. Fake out, goes into the Garchomp, that's totally fine. Rough Skin hits it, and it might knock it out. It does not. It gets really, really close. So Heavy Slam goes right into the Clefairy, and it does not knock it out, but it gets really, really close. Life Dew is activated by the Clefairy. That's a pretty good amount there. I gotta say for myself. That's a pretty decent amount. Rock Slide, and then we'll go right into Drain Punch into the Infernape. That way we can knock it out, because once Infernape goes down, Clefairy has no way of really doing like a lot of damage. So we just need to take down the attacker, and most likely the game will be forfeit because Clefairy can't do anything after that. Helping Hand from the Clefairy. It's got Friend Guard and also Eviolite, so it's going to be able to survive quite a bit. Drain Punch over to the Garchomp. It's going to heal up a lot from that. That's a lot of damage. And we're going to Drain Punch it back to put it back to the HP that it was. Okay. And now we'll just Rock Slide. And Drain Punch. Garchomp is going to go down here this turn. Mach Punch, yep, because that is a priority move. So we foresaw that, but that's why we have Iron Hands with the Drain Punch. So now it's just this Clefairy versus Iron Hands and Sinistra, who sits in the back. That was kind of a hard choice. Like, that was really hard, like a really hard choice. The worst thing about using like Clefairy is the fact that like it just doesn't outspeed. Like its speed is so low, even with the Eviolite. Hospitality heals Iron Hands up for quite a bit of damage, and yeah, we're out of here. Shadow Ball. They didn't quit, which is totally fine. I'm good with that. Lowers down its special defenses, and here comes the Heavy Slam. Boop. 2-hit KO. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our 4th victory. We have one more match to record. 4th victory. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, this is so dope. So dope. We went from a 2 behind loss to now we might be +4 or +3. But yeah, we might be up there now. 25 matches. We did 5. All right, our next match is going to be Chien-Pao, Fluttermane, Ogerpon, Fire type, Urshifu, Rillaboom, and Dragonite. So we kind of know how to deal with Dragonites already. Everyone else, most likely not, but we could bring in Tornadus and Urshifu to kind of deal with the off-centered Pokemon like Chien-Pao or Fluttermane, because we will be able to outspeed them unless it is a booster energy and then gets the speed increase, and then we will not. There's a lot of physical attackers on there, so we'll bring in our Arcanine for sure, and then we should be able to bring in our own Sinistcha in case that is a extreme speed Dragonite. But if we Terra Tornadus, we won't have to worry about that. So maybe bring in Garchomp. I mean, we could also bring in Garchomp. We can also bring in Iron Hands as well. Well, let's see. What do we got here? With Sinistcha, we're not going to really hit anyone besides Fluttermane with its weaknesses, but it would ignore Dragonite. I think Garchomp is going to be the best here. We might have to save our Terra for Garchomp in case Fluttermane does hit the field, but if we can outspeed it, we will knock it out almost immediately. The only time that it does not survive Surgeon Strikes is that if they Terra to Fire. So in that instance, if it's Terra Fire, it's going to be really, really hard to deal with. But if it's not Terra Fire, we're going to have an easier time dealing with it. So it's Urshifu and and Chien-Pao, let's go. This is really, really dope. Versus Tornadus and my Urshifu. So first of all, we need to go ahead and do we need to, you know what? I'm going to Terra just to kind of save my Tornadus and make sure that we have a little bit more of a leeway or saving our Urshifu. So we're going to hit Chien-Pao. There might Terra into water. I'm not tearing mine into water just so that I could save Tornadus. Now, that being said, I cannot have Chien-Pao or Fluttermane hit into Garchomp. Grassy Surge is going to activate from the Rillaboom, who just swapped in. So this Pokemon will survive for sure. I'm going to Terra the Tornadus to Ghost so I can live the Ice type move, since we know Chien-Pao, Rillaboom, and Urshifu is in the team. So it's probably all physical attackers. They're going to also Terra their own Pokemon. It's going to be that Urshifu. It's going to be Fairy. Fairy? Okay. Have a neutral typing. It's probably like banded like mine. Probably. Or maybe Scarped. I'm not sure. But I'm definitely going to beat that. So Surgeon Strikes into the Rillaboom. It's not going to knock it out. Might get it to half, if anything. 2. And it's a little more than half. Hit 3 times. And here comes the Surgeon Strikes on the Tornadus. That's 60. No, that's a knockout. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. That's a little unfortunate, but it's okay because he did do the job. His job was to literally get up Tailwind and to maybe survive against Chien-Pao. That didn't happen, but that's okay. Because now Arcanine can come out and -1 everyone's thing. Rillaboom does have Fake Out, which may go into the Urshifu, or it could go into the Arcanine. If it does go into the Arcanine, I'm going to go ahead and Protect. And I'm going to Surgeon Strikes into this Urshifu. Withdrew the Rillaboom. Okay. Sent out the Dragonite. Okay. Shiny. That's dope. Protect. Surgeon Strikes. 1, 2, 3. Brings them down to very low HP. And Surgeon Strikes. Oh, right. Into Arcanine because he can go through Protect. That's dope. Hit with 1 time, instant knockout, because that is ×4 against water. Urshifu heals. just a smidge. All right, Garchomp hits the field. And I'm going to go ahead and just Dragon Claw. Well, Rock Slide would help better. Yeah, let's Rock Slide. Let's Rock Slide. And I'm going to Surgeon Strikes into that Urshifu. Because I believe I still have Tailwind, so I do beat them. But I'm now putting myself up against a heavy, heavy load against Chin Pao. But I also have Scarf. So I might get the KO, but we'll see. I am running out of Surgeon Strike moves, though. So that's also a damper. Oh, withdrew Urshifu. Here comes the Chin Pao. Oh, Rillaboom again. Okay. Okay. Extreme Speed. Does a little bit of damage to the Urshifu. Dragonite avoids the attack of Rock Slide. Surgeon Strikes. It's not going to be enough to knock out the Rillaboom. It'll get really, really close, though. For sure. Oh, no, it will. I thought I didn't think it was going to be enough. I guess it is. That's dope. And I'll heal up just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Here comes Urshifu. Rock Slide. And I'm going to Iron Head or not Iron Head, but Surgeon Strikes the Dragonite. Extreme Speed. Does not get the KO. Gets really, really close, though. Aqua Jet. Oh, there it goes. Down goes Urshifu. I mean, he only had 2 more attacks left, so there wasn't a lot that he was going to survive from. But it was a really good try. All right, Tailwind is gone. Now it's just Chin Pao and Dragonite. They've done really, really well to get to this point. Now, that's not a Terra Normal. I believe they used a Terra Normal to make Urshifu the Pokemon that he was. Extreme Speed, rocks the rough skin. Here, Sucker Punch. Yep, that's it. If it wasn't Sucker Punch, that might have made me just survive. But still, not bad, guys. We went 4-1 today. We were down 2 and now we're up 2. All right, our first match of the day. Oh, ouch. Okay, we have Donzo, Heatran, Lycanroc, Tyranitar, Tatsugiri, and Sylveon. So pretty much, hey, do you want Sand Speed team or do you want Tatsugiri team? And I'm like, I don't want either one. But if this does happen, Sinistcha is going to be golden here because the Donzo isn't going to be able to hit Sinistcha with a lot of different moves. I mean, he can do Wave Crash, but that's not affected by Grass. And he can also do Earthquake, which also isn't affected by Grass, so that's dope. The thing that we will have to worry about, though, is Lycanroc. He's going to be really, really fast in that sand stream that's going to be generated by Tyranitar. So we might need to go Tornadus, Urshifu, Sinistcha. We have 1, 2, 3... Only 3 physical attackers, the rest are special attackers. We'll go in with Iron Hands. I won't walk in with Arcanine or Garchomp. Even though Garchomp might be a little bit fun here, I think this group might have a little bit more fun if we have Urshifu to come in with on our side. Ooh, Darkrai, let's go. Dealing with this for like possible for, I think it's going to be a little bit more in our favor with the Pokemon we have. And those are luxury balls. So we have Heatran and Sylveon on their side of the table versus my Tornadus and Urshifu. Okay, so I'm gonna have to Terra Urshifu right away. But I'm gonna Tailwind. That way we don't. Well, do I need Tailwind right now? I don't think so. I don't think Sylveon beats me in the speed tier. I'm gonna taunt. What do I want to taunt? I don't think taunting's gonna do well here either way. Okay, so Weak Wind, and I'm gonna Terra Surgeon Strikes into the Heatran. Now Heatran can also Terra, and it could be like Fairy, which makes it so that these Surgeon Strikes don't do a lot of damage. Now I'm locked into this slot though, so I'm just kind of like, not 100% sure. But we do have these two to deal with first. They will Terra. Most likely it's going to be that Heat Ran. And it is. And it's Grass. Okay. So Bleakwind's going to come in first and do a lot of damage to this Heat Ran. Unless it protected. Nope. Bleakwind drops it 2/3. Surgeon Strikes. This is most likely going to take out this Heat Ran right now. 1 crit, does little damage, but that Bleakwind Storm Call that we had before made it so that that Heat Ran is immediately knocked out. Let's go. We took out a major big attacker. Now Pixelate from the Sylveon is going to hurt a lot. We don't know if it's Quick Attack or Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice comes out, which is going to do a lot. Urshifu barely lives with it not being as super effective as it could. No Throat Spray off that Sylveon. So that must be Spect. Spect Pixelate is going to do a lot of damage. And here comes another Luxury Ball T-Tar. I love the ball selection here. It's a man after my own heart. Okay, so we don't have any ups. Sinistcha would be really helpful here. But I don't want to, I can't yet. I can't. Not yet. We're going to Bleakwind, and I'm just going to Surgeon Strikes into the T-Tar. I think that's the call. Yeah, I think that's the call. I could protect and, you know, try to make it so I alleviate a lot of the damage from the Sylveon, but I need to be able to knock out this T-Tar. Because both of my Pokemon are pretty low. Again, Urshifu is pretty much on death's door. It's probably going to get knocked out by the Sandstorm if it doesn't get knocked out by the Sylveon. But it's probably Spect into Hyper Voice. T-Tar does go down in 2 hits. And Hyper Voice comes out. And again, it does a lot of damage, but it's gotta be what it is. I don't think I shouldn't say I don't think. I did a lot of damage to that T-Tar with Urshifu, right? Getting that a little extra damage in there is pretty good. They're also getting buffed by the Sandstorm, so there might have been a way to save at least Tornadus, but I don't believe I have a problem except for Lycanroc that comes out, and if he does, he gets hit with a Fake Out first. It is the Lycanroc. Okay, so I'm going to Matcha Gotcha just right off the bat, and I'm going to just Fake Out that Lycanroc, which isn't going to do a whole lot of damage, but it prevents it from moving the first turn. Fake Out, boop, and couldn't move because they move really fast. Matcha Gotcha, which I'm outspeeding this Sylveon here. It is going to hit this Lycanroc for a lot of damage. Burns it, which is perfect. That's what I wanted. Hyper Voice does a ton of damage. That's a lot of damage. Ooh. Now, oh, I don't know if I'm going to win this. Lycanroc is still pretty fast. All it needs to do is Rock Slide and hit one of my Pokemon. That's all it needs to do. Let's see if it's not enough. Rock doesn't do a lot to grass types, but is it enough to make it so that I don't live? I move faster than that Sylveon, so it all relies on the Rock Slide here. Does not knock out either one of my Pokemon due to the burn. Matcha Gotcha is going to come in and knock out both of them. Let's go! Double KO. That was dope. That Sylveon's been there since the beginning of the game. Oh my god. It was all reliant on that Rock Slide. If that wasn't burn, I don't think I would have lived. I don't think I would have lived. I got really lucky there. That's dope. Let's go to match number 2. All right. Second match of the day, we've got Dragonite, Rillaboom, Farigiraf, Urshifu, Heatran, and Chien-Pao. Woo! So Armor Tail / Trick Room. I think it's more Armor Tail than Trick Room. It could just be the priority like defender, obviously. We got Urshifu as well as in there. Rillaboom, he's going to be such a problem. If you don't have an Ice type, he is going to be a problem for you all. and me too. Don't worry about it. Let's see. In this particular matchup, what I want to do, I might need to outspeed, but I do have Garchomp in the field. So do I want to walk in with Garchomp? I don't think that's going to be necessary, but we could go Garchomp, Iron Hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have Arcanine that can come in, and I kind of want to bring in Tornadus, but I don't think it's going to be really necessary. I mean, Tailwind is great, but if it is the Trick Room, I want to be able to outspeed some of the Pokemon. So we'll bring in Sinistcha as well. That way we can Strength Sap, which affects Rillaboom because he is a physical attacker. So it's not going to really do anything for Machagacha, but just the fact that I have Strength Sap and be able to like swap out a Pokemon quite easily is going to be really like detrimental here. So if they open up with this combo here that I was just about to speak about, we're okay for the most part. Okay, it's gonna lower the defenses of all the Pokemon. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up with the Rock Slide here, and we're gonna fake out the Dragonite. No extreme speed for you this turn, sir. You're gonna get it next turn, but not this turn. And I'm hoping to flinch the Chien-Pao because otherwise my Garchomp's going to go down. And I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll see. Terra's going to be on the Chien-Pao. Going to turn it to Dark. Or not Dark. Blah, 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 blah. Ghost. Not Dark. Duh. Okay. Ghost type to avoid whatever the case may be. Fake out into the Dragonite. No no extreme speed for you. Rock Slide goes into that slot. And Icicle Crash, goes over to the Garchomp. I forgot to Terra. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. Stompy Tantrum goes right into the... You got Covert Cloak? Bruh. That's insane. Oh, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is dope. You probably have Inner Focus too. Yep, Inner Focus Covert Cloak? Bro. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we're going to Extreme Speed here, and... I mean... Yeah, we'll switch to the Sinistcha just in case if he does extreme speed over to Iron Hands or does anything else, realistically. I will have to, whiz through the Dragonite, which is totally fine. Sends out the Urshifu, which is Rapid Strike. I'm recalling my Iron Hands. Sinistcha, probably a bad call here. Extreme speed. Boop. Quite a bit of damage. Icicle Crash. It's over. Oh, terrible call. But I live. I live. Take that. Take that. And we're going to go ahead and Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu. Urshifu's going to get an attack off first. I'm going to Terra Water. And I'm going to Machagacha. Yes, I'm going to Machagacha. I think having the ability of healing from 2 Pokemon is probably a little bit better here. Oh. Since I'm still in the green, there's a good chance that Chien-Pao isn't going to knock us out again. That -1 did help us out quite a bit. So I'm hoping that this will also make it so we don't get knocked out with Icicle Crash. I think we're resistant to... Ooh, Surgeon Strikes over to the Arcanine, which is going to go down. I was hoping to Will-O-Wisp the Urshifu, but that's okay. But that is scarfed because he went right before the Chien-Pao. Yep, nothing. Machagacha. Urshifu goes down. And I heal a little bit of energy from the Chien-Pao. And I burn him. Yep. Thank you. All that HP. Num 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 num. Num 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 num. Dude, my Sinistcha is such a beast. Let's go. And that burn. I got so lucky with that burn. Dude, I am getting so lucky. I'm glad I misplayed on the Garchomp now. I am solely glad that I misplayed. Because I would not have been able to live this long. We're going to fake out the Dragonite again, and I'm just going to Matcha Gotcha. I've got nothing to fear. Fake out. Boop. Oh, yeah, you got Covert Cloak. That doesn't stop you from doing anything. But that's okay, because I don't know what this Chien-Pao is going to do. Sacred Sword? Okay. That does nothing. Matcha Gotcha. Here you go. Whee! Oh, it doesn't get the double KO, but it will get the KO on that Chien-Pao. Will it burn, though? Wait, isn't that a secondary effect? It's not. Oh, no! Was that me or was that them? Please let that be them, because this would be like the upset of all time. Get the burn on the Dragonite just to let it knock out after the effects. Please let it be them. I hate it when DCs happen like this, but please let it be them. It'd be so funny. Nope, it was me. Dang it. Oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. No! All right, match number 3 is ready to go. We've got Landorus, Chi-Yu, Ogerpon, Water, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Iron Hands, and Dusclops. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 physical attackers. 4 physical attackers. Dusclops, Dusclops is weird, right? He's got Pain Split. He's got Night Slash. I think that's what everyone sets him up for. He's kind of like that off center Pokemon. He's really bulky, and that's primarily what he's used for. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. He's kind of like that mixed attacker. So it's like having 3 and 2, and then like one that's just kind of like meh. I don't know. Mine was physically built. It's probably not like the correct one, but that's what mine was. Okay. I mean, we don't really need to prepare for Landorus at all. I think having like Tornadus, Urshifu, Iron Hands, and let's go ahead and bring in Garchomp. I think we leave Sinistcha and Arcanine in the back. Yeah, I don't think either one of those Pokemon are do really, really well. I mean, Sinistcha could do great on Landorus and Ursaluna, but if they Terra into anything else, maybe not so much, but we'll give it a try. Landorus and Dusclops. Not a bad combination to open up to. Intimidate goes off, dropping my attack 1 stage. Frisk, Covert Cloak, and Choice Band. Now, does Dusclops get Fake Out? I don't think he does. He might. He's not a Dark type as far as I'm aware. He might just be pure Ghost. Now, if that's a Scarf Landorus, I'm going to want to Terra, Surging Strikes into it, but I also want to use Tailwind. Because that Rock Slide out of him is going to be really, really hard. Let's double check Mr. Frisk here. He is not Dark. He's just pure Ghost. He is going to return the Landorus, which is good. Good call. I can't read that. Ogerpon, that's a good call. Good call as well. I mean, Water Absorb isn't that big of a deal in this case right now. Looks like physical attacks is up by 10 points on the Dusclops, so he's literally a mixed sweeper. But he could also... Does he know Trick Room? I think he does. He does know Trick Room, but they will Terra first, and he will become Dark. That's dope. That stops taunting. I go for the Tailwind though. The thing is that I'm gonna get stuck into certain strikes, which may not work. But here comes that Trick Room, which is totally fine. I'm gonna switch out Tornadus to bring out my Iron Hands, which isn't gonna do a whole lot in the scheme of things. Yeah, we'll stick with this guy. Surgeon Strikes over to Dusclops. We knew Trick Room was going to come out, so it's like, okay, I'm just going to have to live with it. He's got minimal speed. Minimal speed. Let me check my Showdown team build for him. I have his speed at like 61, and that's with 31 IVs in it. Or, yeah, IVs. So Will-O-Wisp goes right into the Urshifu, which unfortunately is going to burn him. So now he's not going to do hardly any damage. Ivy Cudgel hits the Iron Hands. Not so much. Surgeon Strikes with the -1 and the burn isn't going to do a whole lot. Nope, that is at 10th. 1, 2, 3. That barely made it so that he got put into anywhere. But again, he is burnt, so obviously we do have to take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to Drain Punch the Dusclops though, and I'm going to swap to Tornadus. Get Urshifu out of there to get the -1. The burn is going to have to be dealt with, but I can at least survive a little bit longer. Iron Hands avoids the Will-O-Wisp, but that's cool. Wood Hammer goes right over to the Tornadus. It's not very effective, so take that, and you get the recoil from that. And here comes the Drain Punch. Boom! Right into that slot. Almost a one-hit KO. Almost. How many rooms? I have one more turn of Tailwind left, and they have 2 turns of Trick Room. I'm just going to go ahead and Drain Punch the Dusclops, and I'm going to Protect. Ogerpon is going to get hit with the... going to get hit with the Bleak Windstorm soon enough. I just can't do anything right now. I need to get Dusclops off the field. Now I could Pain Split and get half his HP back and drain half of mine, which may be the cause here, because... obviously, Ivy Cudgel could do a lot. He goes through the Will-O-Wisp instead. I mean, that's a good call. Don't get me wrong there. I think the Pain Split might have been better. I mean, you've got Trick Room. Wood Hammer goes right into the Tornadus, so take that. And yeah, this Drain Punch isn't going to do a whole lot, but that doesn't matter, because Tailwind is gone, and so is Trick Room. Trick Room's over. You don't get Trick Room anymore. My burn. Tailwind's gone. Trick Room lasts one more turn. I thought Tailwind disappeared already, but apparently not. That's okay though. Drain Punch on the Ursaluna. Switch to the Garchomp. We're going to put him under fire for a minute. He's probably going to get hit hard with a Wood Hammer, but it's the only thing I can really do to maybe balance out this this predicament. This is kind of like a weird situation that we're in. Like, yeah, it's 1v4, it's 3v4 right now. Iron Hands is kind of in a bind. Earth Power, boop. Does barely survive with 2 HP. Do you go into that slot too, or do you go straight for the Garchomp? Drain Punch into the Ursaluna. It's not enough HP, but it is quicker than the Ogerpon for sure. Ivy Cudgel into the Garchomp. It's not enough to get the KO. Burn. Okay. Twisted Realms return to normal. We're going to Drain Punch the Ursaluna again, and I'm just going to set up with the Rock Slide and hope for the flinches. Withdrew Ogerpon. You're going to reveal your 4th now. Brings out the Landorus. Oh yeah, that's how he started out with. The Intimidates go out. Rock Slide. Drain Punch. Not a whole lot. Now hoping for the flinches. Hyper Voice comes out. Double KO. But you know what? I'm okay with, because now they have to deal with a Tornadus and an Urshifu. And Urshifu is burnt. Okay. Let's combat and Bleak Wind. Switch the Landorus. Switch the Landorus. Come on, do it. I dare you. Switch the Landorus. You either switch out the Ursaluna and send out Ogerpon thinking I'm going to Surgeon Strikes into that slot, or you're going to switch out the Landorus into Ogerpon, in which I'm going to close combat that thing straight to the face. I'm burnt. I'm not going to be able to knock it out. That's the calc, by the way, guys. You have to put in a lot of defenses. Rock Slide misses the Tornadus. Will hit the Urshifu. Bleak Wind Storm will knock out this Ursaluna. Come on, Urshifu. Do not get the flinch. Close combat. Boom. Does not knock out the Landorus, though. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. That is a Choice Scarf Landorus. Because it went faster than Tornadus, and Tornadus is the fastest genie in the game. Here comes Ogerpon. Close combat. Ogerpon, and I'm going to Bleak Wind the field. Now, Spiky Shield could activate on the Ogerpon. Follow me. Totally fine with that. I'm attacking you anyway. Here comes the Rock Slide again. Does knock out the Tornadus, which is unfortunate. That Hospitality would be great here. Close combat right into that Ogerpon. See how much damage that does? And he's burnt, by the way. If he was not burnt, that would have been a one-hit KO. A choice banded Urshifu with close combat does that to him. And he's not -1. There's the Rock Slide to knock out the Urshifu. If he was not burnt, this would have been a different battle. But that's okay. It was not a bad one. It was not a bad one at all. Maybe instead of doing like Tailwind, actually, Bleak Wind Storm was the correct call. If I did Tailwind to boost Urshifu's attacking power where he attacked first, I don't think that would have been like the call there. If it was like 2 turns before that occasion, like when Tornadus was out there originally, maybe using the Tailwind, switching him out to bring out someone else, that would have been like the call. But unfortunately, I didn't make that call, so it is what it is. Let's get on with the 4th match, I think. All right. We have Fire Ogerpon, Okidogi, Tornadus, Chinpao, Fluttermane, and Landorus. Good assortment of Pokemon. I think we're going to need to bring Garchomp into this. We're not going to bring in Arcanine because Okidogi most likely will have Guard Dog, which prevents his stats being lowered and will also give him a +1. It's like Defiant, but not Defiant. And we'll have to take the -1 from the Landorus that we'll probably have to come across, but we'll have to deal with that as it comes. So we'll walk in with Garchomp. I kind of want to bring in Urshifu, but I don't know if that's going to be a good choice. But we'll bring in... Actually, well, I do fear about their Tornadus. Tornadus, Garchomp, do have a ghost out there, plus Chien-Pao that will also be a ghost. Urshifu, and we'll bring out Sinistcha. We'll leave Iron Hands and Arcanine in the back. I don't want to have to try to shuffle through a Pokemon to do the Intimidates. I think you can do that with a lot of teams out there, but you need to build it effectively, and my team is not built that way. I mean, I could have a revolving door of Pokemon, but I can't do that because I don't have opposite typing to be able to shuffle through, and it wouldn't be fair. So Tornadus Garchomp versus Tornadus and Landorus, and here comes the Intimidate, lowering down my attack 1 stage. Okay, for my Tornadus, I'm gonna hit the Tailwind slot and hope for the best. And then for Garchomp, I'm just gonna go straight into Rock Slides. This will probably have a Tailwind fight, and I think I outspeed Landorus. I'm not sure. Yep, Tailwind fight. Here we go. And I do outspeed Landorus. Someone dodged it. It was Landorus. Tornadus unfortunately did not. Sandsear Storm does not affect Tornadus, and it does very little damage. I say very little. It did 82 damage to Garchomp. Let's not play around the bush. That's a lot. Bleak Wind and Rock Slide. We'll just continue on with the flinches. Here you go. And Bleak Wind after that. Someone dodged it. I don't know. I can't read the names. It was the Tornadus. Landorus did get hit quite a bit there. They answer back with their own Bleak Wind, and here comes Sandsear. Ooh, Speed fell for the Garchomp. That's not good. Doesn't do anything to the Tornadus. Does hurt the Garchomp quite a bit. That's probably a Scarfed Garchomp, by the way. Or a Scarfed Landorus, by the way. So we will have to be careful about that. Question is, so I want to bring in Sinistcha? No, we won't bring in Sinistcha. We'll bring in Urshifu. And I think I'm okay. No, fighting's weak against wind. Flying attacks. Okay, so we'll do that. I will Terra Surge and Strikes into that Landorus. I'm not minus anything. They'll probably switch it out. Would be the best thing that they could do. But I'm going to Terra. I do not know what they have planned for Tornadus. I haven't really done anything to him just yet. Besides damage him, I haven't done really hardly anything. They are just going to go ahead and Terra as well, and it's going to go for the Landorus. And it's going to be water. So the water isn't going to do a whole lot of damage to him, but with the Bleak Wind and then my attack, maybe. They activate Sunny Day to lower down the water attacks. That's dope. It's going to be enough to knock him out. Oh, I outspeed that Landorus. Okay. So maybe it's not Scarf. Maybe it's not Scarf. Maybe I'm fine. Maybe I'm just worried about something that shouldn't be worried about. You know? Hit Pokemon one time. Landorus fainted. Tailwind seems to be up still. That's dope. I'm so glad that they don't transfer like the moves to the other Pokemon next to him. I would hate that if it used against me. So I'm so glad. Oh, you're getting set up for photosynthesis. Okay. Okay. I mean, I am water. Is that going to be enough? Should I protect here? Something tells me I should protect here. We both have Tailwind. Special attack with Titan. That doesn't make it so not 205. I'm going to protect. And I'm going to go straight into Surging Strikes. Into this Flutter Mane. something tells me to protect. I'm like, I'm gonna listen to my gut, and I'm just gonna do that. Dazzling Gleam comes out. Nothing on the Tornadus. Critical hit on the Urshifu. I don't think it would have lived after that. Bleak Wind Storm. Okay. Tailwind's gone for both sides. Now we'll bring out Sinistcha. Hospitality is going to heal Tornadus up. I want to go for Bleak Wind. I don't know if that's going to be the... You know what? Yeah, I'll go for Bleak Wind. I'll 100% do that. And I'll hit Fluttermane with Shadow Ball. Dazzling Gleam, because it goes first. We'll knock out the Tornadus. So they didn't attack. They went Bleak Wind as well, which... Yeah, never mind. Not bad. I thought I would be able to outspeed with maybe getting Tailwind, but no. That switch turn to bring out the sun for their Fluttermane in the back was not a bad strat. I don't know what the item was. It could have been booster energy. I don't know though. I 100% don't know. That Landorus, I could have sworn was Scarfed. I don't think it was. It might have been something different. All right. I hate the fact that when I lose, like the number goes up so much higher than when I win. That's so weird. All right, our final match of the day has Indeedee, Heatran, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Armarouge, and Ursaluna. So this is 100% a Trick Room variant team. There's no one really fast on this team besides Urshifu. I think Rillaboom might be a little bit fast, but Urshifu is like the fastest one. So we're going to have to play around that for sure. So in that case, because it is a Trick Room team, we're not going to worry about handling the Trick Room rules. Garchomp, Urshifu, for sure. Did you have just two physical attackers? We're not going to bring in Arcanine here, but we probably have to because the Rillaboom's in the field. Sinistcha for sure. 100% we're bringing in Sinistcha. Yeah, we'll bring in Iron Hands. I thought about bringing in Arcanine, but Intimidate's not going to do anything to a lot of the Pokemon on that side, so we don't have to worry about that. I thought about bringing in Iron Hands, and I am going to bring in Iron Hands. The reason why I decided to do that is because even though Indeedee does prevent priority moves, I can still stall out the game because him and obviously Sinistcha could be used to supplement the stuff in the back, right? So that's kind of what I'm going with here. Grassy Search from the Rillaboom. Oh, you're okay. Like, haha, I tricked you. All right. So back to my thought. Iron Hands does have like Drain Punch, can also do Heavy Slam and Thunder Punch besides just Fake Out. So, which is kind of why I picked that. I'm going to go ahead. Well, I can do Crunch on the Indeedee, but I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and do, well, one's going to be a Fake Out. So who do we think is going to get faked out? I'm going to drop. I'm going to bring Urshifu back. I don't want Urshifu getting faked out. He's probably going to get hit with a Wood Hammer. So I'm going to bring out Sinistcha to deal with the fake out if it comes to that. And here comes the fake out. It was to the Sinistcha. Oh no, Garchomp is protected. Oh, never mind. And Trick Room still gets activated. That's totally fine. Absolutely fine. Okay, so because that is the thing, I'm going to switch out Garchomp, and I'm going to go ahead and just Strength Sap the Rillaboom. I'm not going to heal any. Yeah, I'm not going to heal any, but I'm going to lower down its attack for one stage, which is perfectly fine. Oh, it retreats the Rillaboom? That's cool. Bring out Armarouge? Okay. Strength Sap. Dazzling Gleam. Does do quite a bit of damage to Sinistcha, but it doesn't do enough to where I'm worried. I'm going to go ahead and Drain Punch the Entity because it's going to use Follow Me. And I'm going to Terra Water, and I'm going to Matcha Gotcha, which isn't going to do a whole lot. But I can at least start withstanding some of the moves from the Armarouge in case if it does like Armor Cannon. And that's what I'm worried about the most, is that Armor Cannon slot. Protect on the Armarouge. Okay. Drain Punch. That's a lot of damage on that Entity. That was a lot of damage. Holy cow. Matcha Gotcha does nothing to the Armarouge. It's going to do a lot to the Entity. Did you literally click Trick Room? Were you trying to reset it? No, you just attacked last. What? I am confused. I am so lost. Drain Punch on the Entity, and you know what? I'm going to start building my defenses. So it's just going to use Calm Mind. I'm expecting that, that Follow Me to come out somewhere. I'm not sure when. I'm a little afraid. Terra comes out on the Armarouge. Fire. That's cool. Entity does Helping Hand. Okay. Drain Punch. Entity goes down. I heal for like nothing. Calm Mind to give myself +1 special attack and defense. Expanding Force. Even with the, well, that does go 1.5. I'm really surprised that Sinistcha went down, but I'm a little less surprised that Iron Hands went down. How long does Trick Room have? If Trick Room is just about up, I could turn this battle around. If it's almost out, I am on the losing side of this. It has one more turn. Oh no. Okay. I can't Terra. I mean, yeah, we're gonna have to do it. Yeah, let's do that. It sucks, but I'm gonna have to do it. Hyper Voice. Quite a bit of damage. Here comes the Expanding Force. Double knockout. Yeah, saw that one coming from a mile away. Ugh. I thought I had no more turns left of Trick Room. First match has Sisui and Gudra, Sinistcha, Urshifu, Chiep-Hao, Tinglu, and Alolan Vulpix. Or Ninetales, sorry. So, Alolan Ninetales is going to get up Aura Veil, which is going to be detrimental to the rest of the team. So, I don't have anyone with Brick Break, unfortunately. Maybe I should teach that to like Iron Hands or something. Maybe like Urshifu. That would be like dope. I could also give it to Garchomp. Garchomp does get Brick Break. So because he usually strikes first, maybe that would be the thing that I would do. But if I click Brick Break with him having Scarf, Aurora Veil isn't up yet. So probably not the best. But in this case, let's bring up Tornadus, Iron Hands. 1, 2, 3, 4 physical attackers. We're going to bring in Arcanine. And I kind of want to bring in Urshifu. He's got 1, 2 types. We'll bring in Sinistcha. I think Urshifu is going to be a Rapid Strike. It could be Single Strike, in which then gotcha. Obviously, you totally tricked me. But the Tinglu, totally strength-based. So obviously, I want to bring in Sinistcha to be able to do Strength Sap, as well as Matcha Gotcha. That's going to do a lot of damage to Tinglu. Now, I'm not going to be able to taunt here because a lot of the Pokemon are dark. So, there's that. Okay, so we have Sinistcha and Chien-Pao at our first versus my Tornadus and Iron Hands. So, I could taunt Sinistcha so that Strength Sap doesn't come into play like hardly ever. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to fake out Chien-Pao. Thinking it's not going to Terra Ghost, but it could. Protect, so that's totally fine. Fake out, goes into that slot, does nothing. No Terras across the board from either side. Here comes the taunt. Right into Sinistcha. No Calm Minds, no Strength Saps, none of that. Mental Herb kicks in. That is a Trick Room. Oh, Strength Sap still. Okay. So it is a Trick Room setter. Okay. That's good to go. That's great to know. I'm gonna go ahead and just Terra. And I'm gonna punch. Well, right now, Chien-Pao is the fastest Pokemon on the field. Swap to Arcanine. Oh no, did it? I went back to Tornadus. What are you doing? Oh well, whatever. I can't do anything about it. Like, hey, I went back to Tornadus. What are you doing? Oh, they swapped out Chien-Pao. That's dope. Bring out Ninetales. Snow Warning comes out. Iron Hands comes back. Bring out Arcanine. Intimidate goes off. Here comes the Bleak Wind. Misses the Ninetales completely, but it hits the Sinistcha, almost a one-hit KO. Woo! Matcha Gotcha. It's not as effective to either one of the Pokemon. So I don't know, it's gonna go up to a fourth, if that. A third. Which isn't like where I want it to be, but I'll take it. You know, unfortunately I have to take it, so it's like can't really say that I want or diswant something. Maybe Terra Ghost to Bleak Wind. No, I'm attacking before this. Bleak Wind and then Flare Blitz into Ninetales. Okay, you can Rage Powder all that you want. Bleak Wind Storm, please hit the Nope, it's not going to hit either one. It just randomly dodges. Let's go. Aura Veil. That was perfect. I mean, I wasn't going to get it before Aura Veil anyway, but that was perfect. Flare Blitz right into that slot. Goodbye, Sinistcha. Ah, for shame. For shame. So it's a 1v4. Or 3v4. Gutra comes out. This is a perfect time to swap in to Iron Hands. And I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Gudra. Tornadus right now is going to benefit at all. It's snowing. We're going to probably have a blizzard on our hands, and I would much rather have Iron Hands out there. Yep, there it is. There's the blizzard. Does nothing to the Arcanine. Oh, that's a crit. That's not bad. Citrus Berry is going to heal it back up to over half. So there's that. Will-O-Wisp into the Goodra, so take that. Your body presses ain't going to do nothing now. Yeah, you can go ahead and shelter. That's cool. Increase your defense sharply, but you're burned, so your attack is half. Let's go. I'm gonna Drain Punch into the Goodra. Should I burn those Ninetales? I mean, I can't put anyone to sleep, so maybe put on a timer would be good. Yeah, I think that's going to be the play. Actually. Goodra is burnt. Heavy Slam and Flare Blitz into Ninetales. Double into that slot. Terra. Probably going to be for the Goodra. And it is. Ice. Yep. No water. Okay. Okay. Removes that fighting weakness. So that's cool. Moonblast. Right over to the Iron Hands. Does not get the KO. Gets him pretty far. Flare Blitz. Right into the Ninetales after that. That's a pretty hefty hit. That's pretty hefty. Body Press. Not enough because of that burn. Heavy Slam. Boop. Knocks out the Ninetales. That burn though. Goes up by the leftovers, goes down by the burn. So now it's neutral healing. But now it's 4v2 and... Oh, Chien Pao comes out now. Interesting. Probably has to sash, if I had to guess. Chien Pao comes out. Oop. Lowers down defenses to everyone except for himself. I'm going to Drain Punch the Chien Pao, and I'm going to Extreme Speed. Yeah, in case if like Sucker Punch comes out. Oh, Protect. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can accept that. Shelter again from the Goodra. Oh, I might get less than 5 today. I'm hoping I get 5. Time's just like ticking by. I'll do my best, guys. Okay, Snow's gone. Drain Punch over there. I'm actually going to Will-O-Wisp the Chien Pao just so that it doesn't do as maximum damage as it possibly could. Because it's still going to hurt. So I kind of want to try to prevent that. So it has 2 targets. You can either go after the Iron Hands and maybe knock it out. Or it could go after the Arcanine and get resisted. It could still knock it out. Icicle Crash over to the Iron Hands. It avoids it. That's cool. Here comes the Will-O-Wisp, and it'll avoid that. Well, there goes that idea. But here comes the Drain Punch. Oh, Body Press first. Ooh! Iron Hands just barely survives. Drain Punch goes right into the Chien Pao, knocks it out, or almost knocks it out, but hangs on to the Focus Sash. And Iron Hands gets a lot of healing. A lot of healing from that. A lot of healing from that. Okay, so now we're going to swap Iron Hands to Sinistra, and I'm going to protect Arcanine because Chien Pao's going to protect here. You wouldn't want to do anything else. I'm going to switch to Sinistcha because that body press is probably going to go into that slot. So Hospitality is going to heal Arcanine a little bit, which is dope. Protect. Called it. Arcanine's going to protect now. No damage goes to that Pokemon at all. Body press into... Ooh, Arcanine. Okay. Okay. Nice read. Very nice read. All right. So in this case, we're going to Matcha Gotcha, and I'm going to Extreme Speed into the Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao's not going to last. Goes for the double protect, but it fails. Here comes the Extreme Speed. Boop. Now, I might be faster than this Goodra. I might be. I am. Sap Sipper. No. Body Press goes right into his Hisuian Arcanine. Knocks him out. Aw, man. Aw, man. That kind of stinks. Okay. Okay. All right. Bring on Iron Hands. Swap to Tornadus. Fake out the Goodra. Tornadus comes out. Fake out. Hits that slot. Does a little bit of damage. It's not going to do a ton. We're doing this so that we could swap into Sinistcha, which then is going to then use Hospitality on Iron Hands here. Aura Veil's gone. That's cool. There's that. Terra, Thunder Punch, Ground Attack, Goodra slot. That +4 to defense is what's giving Body Press that major boost. So I'm hoping that that will help heal Iron Hands a bit. And I'm hoping that this will also help out with the typing. So here we go. That's +6 now. Thunder Punch. Terra Electric. Boot. Oh, that does nothing. Oh, no. And I can't use... No, I could still Shadow Ball. Never mind. I could Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball into the Goodra. Swap to Tornadus. We're going to be doing the swap game for a little bit. Because he can't Body Press into Sinistcha, so my win condition right now is Sinistcha. It's a good thing I didn't, like, Terra him. Because that would have been bad. Here, have a Shadow Ball. That does a little bit more damage. Body Press over to the Tornadus. Tornadus will live. It's also that was also a crit, so that was good. Now I could go for two different things, right? It can't do Shelter again because it's too high. We'll Shadow Ball and we will use Protect. Now, after this, I could either Tailwind and let Tornadus goes down and then fake out to Thunder Punch so that one, my guys could attack faster than this Goodra can, which is totally fine. Life Dew? Yeah, that needs to immediately stop. That needs to immediately stop. Okay. Calm Mind. Taunt the Goodra. I might only be able to get 3. This one's taking quite a while. Goodra and his bulk. Heavy slam. Crit on the tornadoes. Okay. But it's taunted now. It can't use Life Dew. I was not able to get the Tailwind off, but I prevented Life Dew for 2 more turns. And that is essentially what I wanted to have happen. Okay, I'm going to Calm Mind one more time. Fake out the Gudra. Crit. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Okay. Lynch could not move. Heals up a little bit, but loses that HP immediately. Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch. Let's hope. Let's hope. Battle's canceled. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, they could have made it last, but like, bro, you weren't gonna get Sinistra. You weren't. I'm sorry, you couldn't. Oh my gosh. And that Sap Sipper makes it so that I can't just drain their attack forever. All right, so we got Okidoki, Rillaboom, Chien-Pao. Ooh, regular teal Ogerpon. That's cool. Ursaluna, that's Blood Moon, and Cresselia. So kind of like a Trick Room setup, maybe. For the Pokemon's actually kind of fast, though. I think Okidoki might be fast. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But we'll bring in our top competitors. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 physical attackers, 2 special attackers. But Okidoki does have Guard Dog, so we don't want to necessarily bring in Arcanine, or at least not bring him in when Okidoki is out there already. So I think the best chance that we have for survival is to bring in Tornadus Urshifu. Sinistra would be really, really good here, but I don't know if it's going to make a difference to everyone else. So it would benefit, like, Matcha Gotcha could hit Ursaluna. That's really anyone else. That's weird. Okay, we're running out of time. Arcanine, and we'll bring in Iron Hands. That way I can kind of shuffle in. Let's make sure I don't I don't want to make sure that I give Okidoki more power than he needs to. So we'll do our best. Chien-Pao and Ogerpon versus Urshifu and Tornadus. Okay, so we're going to lose to the Chien-Pao speed-wise, but I could Terra, Tailwind, I wonder. Close combat. No. Tailwind. Oh, what do I want to do? Surgeon Strikes. Chien-Pao. Because if it's Spike Shield, I'm going to go right through it and be able to knock it out. I do not want to be able to injure my own guy, obviously. Chien-Pao would be the second worst thing to fight here. Ivy Cudgel could do a lot of damage to Urshifu. I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll see. Chien-Pao goes down. Here comes the Ivy Cudgel into Urshifu. Is a one-hit KO. Okay. Which I'm okay with for the most part. We'll bring in Iron Hands next. I'm afraid Okidoki's gonna come out here, and if Okidoki's comes out now, I'm gonna be in trouble. Cresselia comes out next. Okay. Ooh, shiny. Congrats. Okay, so let's get this party started by doing that, and we're gonna fake out Cresselia. Spiky Shield goes up, which is why I didn't fake out. So there's a calc right now that I don't know if a lot of people have looked at. Iron Hands goes into Ogerpon, right? Does about 13 to 20% of damage, and then Bleak Wind would pick up the rest. It's almost a one-hit KO in that regard. So that's kind of like the calc there. Not very effective. This is going to be effective though. But I could hit Ogerpon with a Drain Punch. So I think I'm going to do that. What are you going to do? I mean, Ogerpon's going to get hit for a lot of damage here. Bleak Wind misses Ogerpon, which is unfortunate. Does hit the Cresselia for quite a bit. Ivy Cudgel over on the Iron Hands. Doesn't do as much. Drain Punch back, though. And I'm going to get half of that damage back, depending on what their HP was set. It's about a third. And Trick Room gets activated. That's terrible, because I moved after Ogerpon, now I moved before Ogerpon. Why? I could also do this too. And now I could just do what? With your Ogerpon. So you're setting up for Urs or Luna. Okay, here you go. I see you. I see you. I'm paying attention. That's a terrible thing though, because now I'm going to taunt their Cresselia. It's probably going to do Lunar Blessing. Do you have Mental Herb? You do. Okay, good. Now you're going to Lunar Blessing, which is going to heal yourself, but isn't going to do... Oh, Moonblast? Into the Iron... Yeah, no, you're not. Yeah, no. Special Attack fell. Here, Drain Punch. Boop. This is a one-shot to Ursaluna, but I'm going to do a lot of damage to that guy. I didn't get all my HP back? That's weird. Okay, one's now gone. I'm going to taunt the Cresselia. And then... do I have anything to worry about normal types? Blood Moon is still really, really hard-hitting. Who's in the back? Arcanine. Yeah, why not? In case if another Moonblast comes out from Cresselia, I like completely don't get hit by it. So Intimidate goes off. I don't think Okie Dokie is in the roster. Taunt. No more no Lunar Blessing for you. I'm definitely faster than both of those Pokemon, so that's not a big problem. Earth Power goes right into the Arcanine. Sorry, Arcanine, I did have to sacrifice you. I apologize. Cannot Lunar Blessing after that. That's... yeah, sorry. Sorry, Arcanine. I didn't mean to sacrifice you like that, but I had to sacrifice you like that. Okay, so we've seen them all. Ogerpon's not in here. Or not, Okie Dokie's not in here. Okay. So we're going to Bleak Wind, and I'm going to just fake out the Ursaluna. Here comes the Terra Normal, maybe? Yep, Terra Normal from Ursaluna. So now Hyper Voice is a thing. Can still do Earth Power, but here's the fake out. Lurch can move. Moonblast into the Iron Hands. Doesn't do as much. Does lower down its special attack. That doesn't matter. Bleak Windstorm. Please hit someone. Ursaluna dodges it. Cresselia doesn't. Speed fell from the Cresselia. How many turns left? One more turn. Protect. I mean, they're focusing heavily on those Iron Hands. Heavily focusing on those Iron Hands. Let's do that. Terra Ghost. And Bleak Wind. And I'm going to punch Ursaluna. It may not do a whole lot, but if this is a Hyper Voice, this is a good call. Because Tornadus is now not going to get affected by Hyper Voice, which means I get to attack next turn. So I'm assuming that it's the speed drop. Oh, here it is. Hyper Voice. Not enough to KO. Oh, mine's eye. That's right. And it gets the throat spray activated. Moonblast. Just barely enough to knock out the Iron Hands. That's right. Throat spray. Or Mind's Eye. But I get the double KO anyway, so take that. But here's the funny part. I lose. I mean, Ogerpon did take some damage, right? Did he? Yeah, because he had to get punched in the face. He got punched in the face. So if this hits, I win. If this doesn't hit, I lose. Let's go. Spiky Shield? You gonna go Spiky Shield? Nope. Bleak Windstorm hits and I win. Let's go. Oh, I was not expecting that. Like at full HP, there's no KO. I'm not terrifying, there's no way. But Mind's Eye ability, I'm still not used to it. It's like, oh crap, that's right. I still lived though. I'm not weak against it. I'm resistant, and I still did a lot. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Oh, that was a good game. All right, final match of the day. I'm running out of time, guys, so I can't do my 5 today, which is unfortunate. We've got Alolan, Ninetales, Iron Bundle, Fluttermane, Urshifu, Dragonite, and Qianpao. So with this particular thing, what we're going to want to do is maybe walk in with Iron Hands and, well, I mean, we could fake out, right? So here's my thought process. And I could be wrong here. We walk in with Urshifu, Iron Hands. We fake out the Dragonite. If it comes in, we knock out the Qianpao right after that. No one in the... Well, they do have 2 speedy people. So Tornadus, obviously, we're going to have to Garchomp after that as Rock Slides. And we can also do Earthquakes to maybe level out the playing field just a bit. Well, one of them is going to be like 300 something. Yeah, I have to. There's no way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Urshifu, and we'll do Sinistcha. That way we can kind of swap in and out if we need to. Dang it. If I use my Terra now for Garchomp, I pretty much lose Terra options later. So that's kind of like, I'm really stuck here. But here it comes Dragonite and Qianpao on their side. I need to get Terra Fire on this Garchomp. He's not going to be able to knock out both Qianpao and Dragonite by himself. So that needs to happen right now. But I also need to Tailwind so that I don't get knocked out right away. Extreme Speed's going to come in. Is that going to be enough to knock out Tornadus? Probably. So we'll swap over to Sinistcha right away. Terra. I outspeed. Yeah, whatever. We'll do it. Dragon Claw. I outspeed right now Qianpao with just basic Garchomp. I need to Terra Fire him so that he doesn't get hit with anything. Extreme Speed could go into the Tornado slot. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. But Strength Sap right now is going to be very helpful. Terra Fire the Garchomp so that we can have access to him later on down the road. We cannot be Will-O-Wisp, which that's not going to be an issue, but I can't be one-shot by this Qianpao. Here comes their Terra, and it's probably going to be the Dragonite. It is, and it's going to be Terra Normal. So, did I guess it right? I lose out on the fact that I did not Rock Slide, but it is what it is at this point. Protect on the Qianpao, so we didn't go for that slot, which is great. And Extreme Speed goes right into the Sinistcha, which does nothing. Dragon Claw. That does a lot of damage. That is not multi-scale. And I'm going to go ahead and just Matcha Gotcha. And I'm locked into Dragon Claw, which I am then going to go ahead and... Can't swap. I'm going to go ahead and Dragon Claw right into the Dragonite, which is going to knock him out, but I'm going to get hit with Extreme Speed from the Dragonite here. Oh, it just barely lives. Rough Skin does a little bit of damage. Dragon Claw right into that slot, which is going to knock him out. Took 2 hits, but I got him. I'm locked into Dragon Claw, but Ice Spinner comes out and it's going to go right into the Sinistra, which I will survive. That's a lot of healing that I just got there. But he needs to get off the field now, like immediately. Since I had to use my Terran right now, him being against Qian Pao is like the worst possible outcome. Here comes Ninetales, which is the Alolan Ninetales. Swap to Urshifu, and I'm going to then Dragon Claw to Qian Pao because I outspeed. They're going to activate Aura Veil, which is totally fine. Now, Sucker Punch could come out here and knock out my Garchomp, which I guess would be okay. I can't really do anything about that. And it does happen. Rough Skin does a little bit of damage, though, so I'm okay with that. But that's one move that they don't have control over. And now I get to have full control over the battle. Ninetales uses... Oh, you went for Blizzard first. Okay. No Aura Veil. Here comes Tornadus. He comes right back out and says hello. Tornadus is going to go ahead and use Tailwind so that I outspeed. Sucker Punch over to the Qian Pao. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage because it's not super effective. As Dark is against fighting, and fighting resists Dark. Surgeon Strikes. Goes over to the Ninetales, going to knock it out. No Aura Veil for you if that's what you're going for this turn. And now we're down to just 3 versus 2. And it's now set to Iron Bundle. Switch out to Sinistra, that way I can get a little bit of healing in. No Quark Drive that I recall from that Pokemon, which is really, really weird. But now we get Blizzards, which actually... Surgeon Strikes into the Iron... Actually... Yeah, Surgeon Strikes... No. Surgeon Strikes into Qian Pao. Swap Tornadus to Sinistra. I believe I will live here. Tornadus come back. I have... Hospitality. This is going to heal up a little bit. Let's hopefully save. Sucker Punch does not activate because it goes over to the Sinistra instead. That's really, really funny. Surgeon Strikes. You had a guaranteed hit with Urshifu. I don't know why you wouldn't... He doesn't know I'm banded. That's why. I think I'll live here. I mean, I'm set to bold. I mean, Sinistra could go down here. Blizzard, 100%. Sinistra does go down. All right, Tornadus comes up. This is it. Let's see what happens. Bleak Wind into Searching. Oh, that's a lot. Can I get it? Can I get it with the 3 hits? 1. Come on, give it to me. 2. Oh, yeah, I got it. Oh, my God. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Whew. Let's go. All right, first matchup we've got Alolan Ninetales, Excalibur, Tornadus, Sinistra, Fluttermane, and Okidoki. Not a bad combination of Pokemon here. I can clearly see it's like going on like an Ice Team type of vibe, or it's just, you know, Aura Veil with the extra protect, and then Excalibur just takes full advantage of that whatsoever. So I think because of the Sinistra and like the Strength Sap, I don't think that we're going to be able to really take a complete advantage of certain Pokemon. Let's see, two Pokemon that are Strength heavy, but Arcanine's probably going to be helpful here for the Ice types that we're going to have to deal with. So I think we'll bring in, we got 2 Ghost types. So Arcanine's going to be really, really helpful here. Guard Dog, well, probably not, I don't know. Tornadus, Garchomp, Iron Hands, and Urshifu. We'll bring those 4 in. Garchomp's really going to be weak in this particular type match, but I'm hoping that with the Terra Fire, we'll be able to withstand a little bit more. But I'm also assuming that they're going to just throw out all of their Ice types at me. But I can't, not go in Tornadus because of, obviously, there's a Flutter Mane in front of us. But I needed to make sure that I didn't get out Tailwinded, which is something that could pretty much happen. We're going to set up our own Tailwind, though, so we don't have to worry about that. And I kind of want to go Terra Fire. And Rock Slide would be really, really helpful here. I could go Crunch. We're going to... Yeah, Rock Slide. We're going to spam Rock Slide, 1 to get the flinch off, possibly the Flutter Mane. I don't know what type it's going to have. I don't know if it's speed based or special attack based. But I just need to make sure that I don't get hit by a lot of the hits that, Flutter Mane can do. So like Moonblast, Icy Wind, we don't want any of that. Tailwinds go off from both sides, so that's dope. Kind of foresaw that. Here comes the Rock Slide. It's gonna miss. Tornadus hits the Flutter Mane for a little less than half. Dazzling Gleam, so no flinch. So we don't know what typing it is yet. Okay. I'm gonna taunt their Tornadus. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that at all. I'm gonna Bleak Wind in case they throw a taunt and they somehow just win the speed tie. Rock Slide does a lot to both of the Pokemon. Crit on that Tornadus, which is great. Shadow Ball from the Flutter Mane. So it does outspeed my Tornadus, which is good information. But here comes the Bleak Wind for the double KO. For that to happen, it had to be higher than 179. Obviously, that is a 205 speed. So not necessarily a photosynthesis type. I didn't see like Life Orb come out, so that was interesting. But here comes Okidoki and Ninetales. Now, Okidoki is pretty interesting here. We're gonna swap out we're gonna swap out Tornadus because we do have. Well, you know what? Let's do this first. We're gonna taunt the Ninetales, and I'm gonna Rock Slide. They're gonna Terra. Most likely will be the Okidoki, but it could also go for the Ninetales. It is the Ninetales. Are you Dark type? You're not. Your Water. Okay. So you ignore everything that I could have done via what's it called? Rock Slide. So you ignore that. Taunt goes off on the Ninetales. Does not proc the Mental Herb, so we know that's not carrying that. Ninetales does Blizzard. It's going to unfortunately knock out Tornadus, and Okidoki's probably going to take out the Garchomp now. Oh, snap. We forgot to change some moves around. Oh, Okidoki's flinch couldn't move. That's dope. That's even better. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, let's bring out Iron Hands. I could. First of all, we're gonna fake out the Okidoki because we don't want that to hit us. And we're gonna swap out the Garchomp for Urshifu. So we're going to fake out the Okidoki, which Guard Dog shouldn't prevent us from flinching him. He does have leftovers. Blizzard goes out. Doesn't do a whole lot to either one of my Pokemon, which is totally fine. But Okidoki's flinched and couldn't move, obviously. Leftovers heal. Tail ones are gone. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So now we're going to Thunder Punch the Ninetales. And what am I going to do? I mean, I could Surging Strikes into Okidoki. That's probably like what I'll do. It seems like the best call. Still outspeeds Urshifu. I wonder if that's a Scarf. Because that hasn't done anything. And it's pretty fast. Not a KO for Okidoki from the Urshifu with the Choice Band, so that's good. High horsepower goes into Iron Hands, and he avoids it because he's a champ. Thunder Punch right into that Ninetales, knocks it out. So what is Alolan Ninetales speed? That's dope to know that that Pokemon's fast. And Okidoki heals up due to the leftovers. But this is the last of the Pokemon, so we're just gonna Surging Strikes and Heavy Slam. Battles cancel. All right, next match is up. We've got Iron Hand, Sinistcha, Ninetales, Alolan, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Fluttermane, and Okidoki. So we do have almost the exact same set that we just fought, except they had Tornadus. So swap out Tornadus with Iron Hands, and that's the exact same team. Oh, they also had someone else besides Ursaluna too. So there's that. So we could see a Trick Room situation here. I don't think that they'll use that though, but I do outspeed almost everyone here except for the Ninetales. I do outspeed with Garchomp, but it's going to be one of those things. Let's see. 1, 2 attackers. I can't. Arcanine, you're not seeing any play this video so far. We did really well with like the Tornadus and Garchomp, so we'll bring them back. If it's Sinistcha though, we'll probably need to use the Arcanine to get rid of that Sinistcha slot because it's going to be really, really hard to get rid of them otherwise. I could go for the single play to where we just kind of bounce back and forth, which would be kind of dope. But Mind's Eye would completely like take care of that Pokemon all the way through. I'm going to bring in Urshifu and yeah, Iron Hands. We'll just bring in the same 4 that we brought in last match. Let's see if we come out ahead of this time. Now there's 2 Pokemon in particular that in that team that could do Trick Room, which is Fluttermane and Sinistcha. Hopefully neither one are in the roster, but most likely Sinistcha is going to be there. I have a complete roster almost of physical attackers. And we have Sinistcha and Iron Hands. Let's go. It's like I called it. I called it. But there is one cool thing though. I do outspeed both of these Pokemon. So the only one I really have to worry about is Garchomp. But I'm going to swap out Garchomp to bring in someone else. So hopefully my Iron Hands is going to come in to do a little bit more damage. I'm going to Bleak Wind though, for sure. And I'm going to go ahead and swap to my Iron Hands. Because Fake Out is going to go into my Garchomp, which is going to do nothing. He gets hit a little bit because of Rough Skin. I'm going to prevent that. So we're just going to do that. Fake Out goes into that slot. Prevent that whole situation. Bleak Wind Storm misses. Sinistcha will hit the Iron Hands though. Person I wanted to hit was Sinistcha. Missed him. It's not a guaranteed one-hit KO, but Trick Room was set. Trick Room was set. Cool. Okay, cool. Cool. I see that. I see that. We're going to taunt Sinistcha. And then we can't Drain Punch Sinistcha. I can Heavy Slam him though. I don't think anything I'm going to do to him is going to be worth it. So I'm just going to Drain Punch. Actually, yes. I'm going to Drain Punch the Iron Hands. I'm going to taunt the Sinistcha so that no Strength Sap can be used because it's a status move, kind of. Unless it goes through that. But Wild Charge will go right into Tornadus, which knocks him out. Unfortunate. It is what it is. I could maybe swap out to like Garchomp, but maybe survive, but I didn't. So each their own. Okay. Matcha Gotcha. I have to swap into the Garchomp here. Make myself immune to whatever shenanigans he has. And crunch the Sinistcha. And I'm going to Drain Punch the Iron Hand still. Now his Iron Hands is going to attack first because it's fast, it's slower. Garchomp is going to be attacking last because it is faster, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. We can still try to come back from this. If I can get the Iron Hands out of the way, it would be easier, but he's probably going to start switching into Ursaluna, but he's going to really need to pick a time of when that is going to be very possible. This will be the second turn of Trick Room though, so he has to do it within the next 3 or so turns, unless he does it now. In which, who do you swap? I mean, Sinistcha probably would have been the best one because it's taunted, but here comes the switch from the Iron Hands, and here comes the Okidoki. So that's a really good call. That's a very decent read. Drain Punch into that slot isn't going to do a whole lot, but I go up in a little bit of HP, so which is totally fine. Matcha Gotcha. It's hoping for the burn chances here. It's also going to heal up a little bit, but I don't really care. Crunch. It is going to survive that. He is pretty bulky. No burns on my side of the field, though, so that's good. That's good to know. And Okidoki does heal up due to its thing there. Can Okidoki one-shot either one of my Pokemon? I don't know. I don't think he can. But I am going to Terra Garchomp. And then I'm going to Thunder Punch. Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam into the Sinistcha. I kind of want to get it off the field now. They're going to Terra, which is totally fine. Still 4v3. I have the 3, they have the 4. And it's Fairy for the Okidoki. Okay. Okay. I'm also going to Terra. I should just randomly Terra steal my Iron Hands and just be like, what are you going to do now? But it wouldn't make a difference. I'm going to be Fire to lower down the damage from Matcha Gotcha, and then I can prevent being burnt with Garchomp, which would be perfect. Heavy Slam into that slot isn't going to get the KO, but it's going to do a decent amount. Citrus Berry will activate on that Sinistcha, which brings it back up to half. Oh, less than half. Okay. Matcha Gotcha. A little bit of damage. It's going to get it above half, but I think I'm going to be able to knock it back down to where it's in KO range. Bulk up on the Okidoki, so it gets +1 attack and defense. Crunch. So it's back down into knockout range, and your defense fell. So now you're left with 1 decision. 1. And Sinistcha shook off the taunt. Good job. You're left with 1 decision. Trick Room only lasts 1 more turn. I'm going to definitely crunch that guy. And actually, because Iron Hands is going to attack first, I'm going to crunch. You know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to swap to Urshifu, Heavy Slam into the Sinistcha. This should knock it out. Now, I don't think Okidoki can knock out Urshifu right away, but we'll see. Rage Powder, totally fine with that. Heavy Slam into that slot, knocks it out. Are you going for another bulk up? You could. You are. Okay. Okay. Defense rose 2 stages. You're not fast though, as far as I'm aware. I think you're the slowest one, but you do have 2 bulk ups. Yeah, your base speed's 80. but you have 2 bulk ups, so your defenses are a lot higher for sure. Fake out's gonna be a thing now. Swap out to the Garchomp. And I'm gonna Drain Punch the Iron Hands. Swap them out because obviously I don't want to get a Wild Charge or have Fake Out hit into Urshifu. It'd be kind of rude. So it was gonna go into that slot. It's a good thing that I swapped. Rough Skin procs. He hurt himself. Okie dokie does Poison Stab. Or Poison Jab, I'm sorry. Rough Skin also hurts that Pokemon. So Garchomp faints. Garchomp is going to faint. Drain Punch. Hits the Iron Hands. And I gain all of that HP back. Iron Hands faints. You heal up due to leftovers. Urshifu comes back. It's a good thing that I swapped. Poison fighting, huh? Be good if I had like a psychic move, but I don't. I think Doki Doki's weak against psychic might be 4 times weak against it. He is. Oh, great! Ursaluna comes out. Yay! I have to make a choice like right now. Who do I want to kill? Either one of these guys are terrible news. Surge and Strikes would be able to take out the Ursaluna for sure. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go straight into the Heavy Slam, into the Okie Dokie. Surge and Strikes. 1. That's a third. 2/3. Crits. Here it is, the Insta KO. I think you can live if you put Citrus Berry in that middle hit. I think the Citrus Berry procs then. It may not. If it does, it's great. If it doesn't, then I don't know what you're going to be able to do. Drain Punch goes into Urshifu. It's going to do a little bit of healing, but not too much because you were probably thinking I was going to go somewhere else. But here comes the Heavy Slam into that slot. That's still a lot of damage, but isn't enough to really do anything. Probably not. But now we get to go into that slot, and it's just a double up into it now. It's got leftovers. Oh, this is over. This is way over. Never mind. 1, 2, and 3. Dope. 2-0 so far, guys. Dang. I do kind of like the fact that, like, if you do Terra Fairy, it opens up the world of Okie Dokie, but it's one of those things that we're really going to have to pay attention. We're really going to have to. All right, next match is up. We've got Tornadus, Ursaluna, that's Blood Moon, Fluttermane, Iron Hands, Water, Ogerpon, and Heatran. Okay, so we do have quite a bit to deal with on this particular team. However, I don't know if they know about Ogerpon's weakness yet, so we're gonna give that a try if at all possible. I do see 2 physical attackers. Okay, everyone's just switching to special now. It's weird. We do have to bring in our Tornadus because they're gonna be able to outspeed us with their Tornadus. I don't think it's gonna have Taunt or Mental Herb. It's not like the thing that you want to bring, but it could be brought. I mean, we could walk in with Garchomp, maybe Urshifu, but I'm afraid that if I switch into Urshifu, attack the off-brand thing, it's gonna cause a little bit more damage. But I will... First turn obviously has to be Tailwind. So I think I'm gonna bring in the Garchomp, the Iron Hands, and yeah, Urshifu. Arcanine and Sinistcha are gonna sit at home. I don't think Sinistra's not gonna do as well against them. I mean, it would be able to strength sap the physical attackers like the Urshifu and like the Ogerpon and stuff like that, but not Urshifu, but Iron Hands. But I don't know. I don't think that they would use them. Fluttermane and Water Ogerpon. So this is going to be very, very interesting. I still have to No booster energy on that Fluttermane. She still outspeeds me, but I'm gonna go click Tailwind, Terra. Yes, Tailwind, click Terra. Dragon Claw? Yes, Dragon Claw. Usually what I would do... Oh, crap, that's water, not oh, fudge. Okay, anyway, just ignore that, ladies and gentlemen. I totally didn't misplay in front of the water type Ivy Cudgel using... Oh... Anyway, I totally didn't do... Oh, follow me, that's dope. You were gonna make me attack you anyway. Great. I don't think Rock Slide would have done anything, and obviously they used Follow Me, so it wasn't going to do anything, but I did save Garchomp from being one shot, which is totally fine. But now I'm going to Bleak Wind, and I have to swap Garchomp. It would have been better if I would have done something else, but I didn't, so that's on me. Swap out Garchomp because I can't Dragon Claw the Fluttermane. Obviously, I would be able to Dragon Claw the Ogerpon, in which then the spread move would be able to hit, but I didn't. Good thing. Good thing I swapped. That would have sucked. Bleak Windstorm is going to miss the Ogerpon, though. Will it hit the Fluttermane? Please hit the Fluttermane. It does hit the Fluttermane. It doesn't do a one-hit KO, but the speed did drop. Dazzling Gleam. It is unfortunately going to knock out Tornadus. But I'm going to bring out my Urshifu now, because I know Ogerpon's out here. I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to Surgeon Strikes into the Fluttermane, and I'm going to Drain Punch into the Ogerpon. It's already did its Spiky Shield. It can't do it anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. It could follow me, and I can attack it to that slot, which would be terrible. And it probably is going to, which then means I screwed up. I should have did like close combat. Wow, I'm making tons of misplays here. Follow me. There it is. Urshifu is going to attack. It's going to heal that Pokemon quite a bit. Oh no. Water Absorb. I mean, good call. Oh, you only did the one. Oh, interesting. Okay. Dazzling Gleam. That's probably Spect. That's probably Spect Fluttermane. And I am completely botching this run up. I'm literally knocking myself out. They didn't have to do anything. I'm doing my own thing. That's how bad this has gotten. I'm knocking myself out. I don't need, like, they don't need my help. Also, I don't think I did Fake Out. Interesting. I'm gonna Heavy Slam into the Fluttermane though. Just why not? It's gonna attack before me. Withdrew Fluttermane, which is totally fine. To bring out Tornadus. That's cool. Spiky Shield, saw that. Rock Slide isn't gonna do anything to the Ogerpon. Will it hit the Tornadus though for a lot? I hope so. Ooh, that is a lot. Here comes a Heavy Slam, which may, yep, knock it out. There it goes. With all the misplays I just recently done, I'm hoping that they get the complete changeover for this, because that is just terrible. They say Fluttermane though. Good call. Good call. I'm still gonna spam Rock Slide though, and I'm hoping that I get to attack before Ogerpon does. And if I don't, I'm just gonna punch it in the face. So hopefully I get to win. They both avoid Rock Slide. Let's go. Dazzling Gleam. Oop. Down goes I. Wow. I misplayed so much. If I just clicked close combat. Why did my... Oh, my fingers move faster than my brain. I was like, oh yeah, this is totally simple. It's just this. And just like, no. No. I knew it. I knew something was off as soon as I Terra fired right in front of a water Pokemon. It's like, good on you, mate. Let's... Jesus. Next matches up, we got Chi-Yu, Landorus, Fluttermane, Tornadus, Fire, Ogerpon, and Urshifu. Exactly the opposite typing of what I just had to deal with. Now, because it's opposite, we can do a little bit more things here. We have 4 physical attackers, no 3 physical attackers, and 3 special attackers. So it is a mixed sweeping team, but I am confident of bringing in Tornadus and Urshifu this time. Sinistcha obviously is going to come in because we do have Landorus. Now we will have to worry about maybe Ogerpon and Chi-Yu, but we can save our Terra for Sinistcha, or it being Terra Water. And then we could bring in like Iron Hands to maybe deal with the opposite typing of this Urshifu. It could be Rapid Strike or it could be Single Strike. And then we can also use Heavy Slam to knock out the Fluttermane, which is probably going to be the thing. But we'll leave Arcanine and Garchomp in the back. We just need to be able to do one of 2 different things. Like right now, 1, we need to set up our Bard presence by outspeeding them. And then we need to keep that presence the best way physically possible. So depending on what they do here, we might, which is Tornadus, Fluttermane. Great. That is a booster energy Fluttermane, and speed was heightened. Great. We have Tornadus out there. Turn 1's gonna be Tailwind, obviously. If I click Terra on this Urshifu, yes, we're gonna Surging Strikes into the Fluttermane to knock it out, but we're gonna try to survive the Dazzling Gleam or the Moonblast that comes out. Urshifu should live in Terra Water. Should be in the operative word. But I'm going to activate Tailwind. They're going to activate their Tailwind. Fluttermane's going to attack next. Dazzling Gleam. Survives. Good. Surging Strikes. This should knock out Fluttermane. Boop. Oh. What a glorious 2-hit combo. Glorious 2-hit combo. Yes. Go down, Fluttermane. Go down. For justice. Fluttermane goes down for the king. Now, who's your next Pokemon? It is Urshifu. And it is Single Strike Urshifu. That's a weird one. Swap into Iron Hands? But who though? Bleak Wind could hurt. It is going to hurt the Urshifu for sure. I'm going to swap my Urshifu to Iron Hands. That way I can tank a hit. And Drain Punch will be able to do a lot more damage to that Pokemon next turn. They're going to Terra now. Probably going to be the Urshifu. And it is. Are you dark? You're poison. Okay. So ground type moves are going to be great against you. And I think Psychic as well. Sunny Day activates. Lowers the effectiveness of my own attack. Bleak Wind now hits. Takes him down to half on both. And here comes Wicked Blow. Urshifu speed drop. That's good. Wicked Blow onto the Iron Hands does not do anything because it's not effective. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and Bleak Wind again, but I'm going to Fake Out, and I'm going to Fake Out the Tornadus so that it doesn't do anything. Withdraw the Urshifu, so that's a good call. Brings out Landorus. It's not good, like Bleak Wind Storm isn't going to do anything to the Landorus. It might take it down to a 3rd or a 4th, or hit it for a 3rd or a 4th. Here it goes. Boop. And I one-shot the Tornadus. Not one-shot, but Tornadus goes down. Landorus drops down by half, though. That's a lot of damage. And now we're looking pretty good. I think we're still at 4 Pokemon to their 2 now. I think. Yeah. Wow. we're hammering it. This is great. We have one more turn for Tailwind. We are intimidated due to Landorus, but we can withstand another assault if we need to. But we are going to Bleak Wind. And I'm going to Heavy Slam. I want to Heavy Slam into someone. Wicked Blow is going to really hit Sinistcha for a lot, but I don't really want to swap into him. Heavy Slam into Urshifu. That's what we'll do. Liquid Storm hits. Urshifu goes down. Landorus still stands on just a little bit of HP, and the connection was interrupted. Please tell me they rage quitted. It wasn't me, was it? Please tell me they rage quitted. It was. Okay. Oh, that had me worried there. If it was me, it's like I was winning. Why did I lose? But nope, we got the dub. We are currently 3-1. Let's go. All right, next match. We've got Tornadus, Fluttermane, Goldengo, Urshifu, Landorus, and Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle has been making a small comeback, but we're going to see if he can keep his reign. It does use up a booster energy, so we don't know if it's going to be for the Fluttermane or the Iron Bundle. Personally, it's probably going to be for the Iron Bundle. The 309 speed's kind of hard to beat, so hopefully it stays at 6 there, but we are going to try to outbeat it by using Tornadus as our speed guy. Again, mostly special attackers, so we're going to have to walk in with someone that isn't really equipped of dealing with these guys, but we're going to do our best. So first of all, we're going to walk in with Tornadus and Urshifu. They did a terrific opening last time. Sinistcha, and then we'll do Iron Hands again, because why not? Arcanine and Garchomp will stay in the back this time. Although Garchomp may have been a good option against their Goldengo, since it is a Steel type, and it's also Ghost type. So I might have been able to Will-O-Wisp. I think Good as Gold prevents status effects on that Pokemon. I think that's what happens, so probably not a good idea, but glad I didn't pick it. But we got Tornadus and Fluttermane as the open versus Urshifu and Tornadus on my side. No booster energy on that Fluttermane, so we do know what's going to happen here. So we're going to do what we did last time. We're going to Terra Water, hit the Surge and Strikes against the Fluttermane, and we're going to Tailwind so that we outspeed this Fluttermane. Again, we don't know how it's built, though, so it could be Specs, could be Pixie Plate, could be Wise Glasses. I mean, I totally ran that from the Portland Regional last year, which did really, really well, by the way. I toot my own horn. I went 3-6, so I shouldn't be super happy, but it did do really, really well. They're gonna Terra Fairy to their Fluttermane though, so we kind of know what the strat is. It's probably like the Terra Fairy Specs variant, since we didn't see the booster energy. Now there's been a couple of debates online. It's like, do you Terra with a spec item? And I believe that you do, because that extra damage is going to be huge, but to each their own. Tailwind goes off on my side after the Terra Water. Tailwind goes off on their side. Tailwind goes off on their side. Dazzling Gleam from the Fluttermane, and not enough to get the one-hit KO, but does a lot of damage. Here comes Surge and Strikes with my Choice Banded Urshifu. That hit hard. That hit a lot of hard. That hit so hard. It was a lot of hard. A lot of hard. All right, so there's that. Now they will have the speed advantage, unfortunately. Next up is Landorus. So Intimidate goes off, which is going to drop the attacks on both of my Pokemon for sure. Taunt their Tornadus, Surgeon Strikes into their Landorus. So please do a status effect, like maybe Sunny Day. That'd be dope. Surgeon Strikes. Oh, you were doing something. Goes right into that Landorus, is a 2-hit KO. So are you attacking? Are you attacking? Why are you slower than than my Urshifu. That's weird. Landorus Fates. Icy Wind. Okay. Tornadus will still live, but you drop the speed on Urshifu, but not my Tornadus. I mean, I thank you for trying to do something, but it's not going to help out too much. Brings out Urshifu with just single strike. So for this, what we're going to do is Bleak Wind Storm, swap up my Urshifu for the Iron Hands. That way the Wicked Blow does not come to hit me whatsoever for this Urshifu. And I also ruined Sucker Punch if that was the option. Bleak Wind Storm does hit someone. It does not hit the Tornadus, but it one-shots this Urshifu. Whoo! How mad are you? Icy Wind misses Iron Hands and hits the Tornadus. But I don't think it really matters. How mad would you be? Bro Chacho. How mad would you be for that crap? Okay. How long do you have for Tailwind? You have one more turn. Oh, you're taunted. That's right. You can't do anything else. That's dope. I forgot I taunted him for a minute. My apologies, guys. Thunder Punch and Surging Strikes battle was canceled. I wonder if that was it wasn't Spect. It definitely wasn't Spect. It was something else. But that was weird. That was a good match, first of all, but that was a weird one. 4-1, guys. Let's go. All right, next matchup. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. We have Amoonguss, Vikavolt, Dusclops, Heatran, Glastrier, and Alolan Ninetales. This screams Trick Room all day, every day. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind going forward. We're going to need to try to deal with Trick Room a lot here. So the best thing that we could possibly do is maybe try to shut down the Amoonguss, the Dusclops, which is Dusclops does not have Mental Herb, by the way. It has to have the Aviolite because otherwise it's terrible. But we also have to be able to shut down that Alolan Ninetales if it ever hits the field. So with that being said, we're going to bring in Tornadus. I want to bring in, who do I? Garchomp, first of all. Urshifu to deal with that, and we'll bring in Arcanine this time to bring in just a little bit more power and oomph to this particular slot. We have Glastrier, that's a physical attacker, but we also have someone that is going to be completely immune to hopefully ice types. We can clearly see that maybe Alolan Ninetales is going to be in the starter, like in the first two, or maybe in the back. It would be the best option for them, but at the same time, it would be terrible. And they open up with Amoonguss Dusclops, so we automatically outspeed. So we need to decide here, who do we take down first? Because Dusclops is going to be able to set up Trick Room, which would be terrible, so we can taunt him, but then we leave Amoonguss alone to where we can't really do anything else. We're going to Rock Slide, though, so that we can kind of flinch and hopefully get those. Rage Powder goes off on the Amoonguss, which is unfortunate because the taunt is going to go into that slot. So Trick Room is going to be able to go off here. Rock Slide, unless we get the flinch here, does very little damage. Flinched and could not move. We got it. Thank Christ. Okay. So Bleak Wind Storm goes in next. And then we'll do the Rock Slide again. And we'll hoping for the flinches. Amoonguss can't taunt. Or he can't do anything. So he needs to get out of there, which he does. So good on you. Brings in Heatran. They're going to Terra. And it's going to be the Dusclops. This is going to shut down the Trick Room, the taunt, because it's going to become dark. Which is, I don't necessarily know. This is probably like a bad idea, because now I'm going to swap out of Tornadus to bring in my Iron Hands. Bleak Wind Storm comes in after that and does still a lot of damage. But now I've got 2 attacking types that I can just completely decimate. Oh, the flinch again! So we're gonna... Oh, I don't have Iron Hands. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. So we're gonna bring in the Urshifu, and I'm gonna go ahead and Terra Fire, so I ignore... I do need to ignore the burn. 100% I need to ignore the burn. But since I don't have Iron Hands here, I don't think switching is going to be the best option. We'll just continue Bleak Winding. I will Terra Fire and go with the burn. Or go with the wind. Gone with the wind. Why didn't I bring in Iron Hands? Why did I think this was a good idea? I have no idea. Guys, please try to talk some sense into me. I don't know what's going on. Rock Slide does very little damage to both of the Pokemon, but I am completely stopping the shenanigans. Someone avoided it. It was the Dusclops Power Gem. It was over and hits Tornadus right in the face. And Trick Room finally gets activated by the Dusclops. Hi. My brother, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I completely missed what was happening in the last few turns as I was talking to him. So we took down Dusclops. Apparently, the power goes right into the Arcanine. Does get the KO, which is unfortunate. But we are going to be able to knock out this. Yep, there he goes. Okay. So I'm down to 1 Pokemon. Urshifu is burnt, which is unfortunate. I think Garchomp went down too. I'm not 100% sure, but I did spam a bunch of Rock Slides, so I'm hoping for the best. Let's see. Sent out Mungus and Vikavolt. Okay. Trick Room is still up for one more turn, which is unfortunate. But I can't be put to sleep, so we're kind of good. It's unfortunate because of the fact that I can't do anything else besides close combat. So Thunderbolt over the Urshifu does do a lot of damage. I mean, it's water, and he goes down. Not bad. We're 4-2. I can't complain. And that's Life Orb. All right, and our final match of the evening, we've got if I can read pictures. We got Tornadus, Urshifu, Fluttermane, Arcanine, Hisuian, Qianpao, and Rillaboom. Okay. So we do have multiple physical attackers, so it would be great to have Arcanine this time. But I do see a lot of opportunities to just take games with Iron Hands this time. That last game could have been totally ours if I brought in Iron Hands, and I didn't, and that was a folly on my part because that was beautifully like set up. But since they do have Tornadus and they do have Fluttermane, I do need to be able to outspeed these Pokemon, so I'm going to bring in Tornadus myself, and I want to bring in Garchomp, but I think it might be best to bring in Iron Hands first. I mean, if they bring in Tornadus, Fluttermane, I'll be able to live anything that Fluttermane throws at me with Urshifu. But if it's Qianpao, maybe not so much. We'll give that a try. Bring in Iron Hands. I don't really necessarily think that the rotation switching is going to be beneficial here, but I'll bring in Garchomp. So we'll leave Arcanine and Sinistcha at home. I like how the two games that we brought Sinistcha, I didn't even bring them on the field because of the fact that I was able just to completely knock out the Pokemon that were right in front of me. So that was dope. Come on, give me my 5-2 record today. Come on. Give it. Give it. Give it. Arcanine Rillaboom versus Tornadus Urshifu. Intimidate goes off, lowering down the attack of Urshifu, but we do have a fake out person. And that is Mr. Rillaboom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just Bleak Wind Storm. And I'm going to swap Urshifu to Iron Hands. That way the fake out doesn't really do anything. And I can't get one-shotted by maybe like a Rock Smash from Arcanine. I don't think that's going to be the case here. But regardless, that Drain Punch next turn is going to do a lot. And the Bleak Wind now is going to do a lot of damage too. Now, Grassy Field does increase the damage from Wood Hammer. Fake out goes right into the Iron Hands, so we called it. That was a crit too. That's dope. Bleak Wind Storm misses one, but not the other. It will hit the Rillaboom, but miss the Arcanine. Arcanine will use Rock Slide, which misses Tornadus, but it will hit the Iron Hands, which is unfortunate. Is, you know, he's my boy. He doesn't need to get hit with stuff, but he's gonna get hit with stuff. I'm going to go ahead and Tailwind so that Iron Hands gets a little bit of a boost. And I'm going to go ahead and actually, I'm not going to Tailwind. Instead, I'm going to Bleak Wind. I'm going to fake out the Rillaboom because I need to do that first. Now, I could fake out the Arcanine, but I don't think the Rock Slide is going to do a whole lot. It shouldn't one-shot Tornadus. I mean, it is a stab, but, you know, they will retreat Arcanine, so that's a good call. Bring out Tornadus. They're going to Terra their Rillaboom. Are you water? Are you water? You're steel. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, Rosa, that's not great. Fake out into that slot. You're not going to be able to do anything now, but you do resist the Bleak Wind Storm if it does hit you. It hit someone. It hit the Tornadus on that other side. And Rillaboom was flinched and couldn't move. That's really, really unfortunate for you, bro. I am sorry. I'm going to go ahead and Tailwind and Drain Punch the Rillaboom now, because that's going to hurt a lot since you're Terra Steel, and I know Drain Punch. Sorry. Now, it's still going to be a lot of damage from this Bleak Wind Storm that could come out of this opposing Tornadus. But we do activate our Tailwinds. I think no, I'm not going to outspeed the Rillaboom. He will attack before I do. Stompy Tantrum goes right into the Iron Hands. Is not enough to get the KO, but this Drain Punch is. You know, that would have done more, but the grassy terrain also lowers ground type damage by half. So you probably would have done that, but you kind of screwed yourself. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, just throwing that out there. Urshifu comes out, which is the water variant. And I'm going to go ahead and Bleak Wind, Terra, and I'm going to punch this Urshifu right in the face with Drain Punch. Now I'm Terra Electricing because of the fact that I'm technically weak against Bleak Wind Storm from that other Tornadus, so if it does do it, I don't think I'll get knocked out, but I don't want to be put in that position to where I could. They retreat, so that's totally fine. But Arcanine now comes out, which is going to -1 the damage for the Iron Hands, which is it's okay. Honestly, it's fine. But I'm going to Terra. So the Surging Strikes that could come from Urshifu isn't going to be doing a whole lot of damage because I'm now the opposite typing of what he is. I think I was already electric fighting, but having main electric is now just going to make it less effective. Bleak Wind Storm is just going to one-shot it, and oh, this Drain Punch into this Arcanine is going to be so much. I'm going to go back up to full HP and possibly one-shot this thing. Here it comes. I don't one-shot it. That's still a lot of damage. But I don't one-shot it. I heal up a little bit due to that, but it's not a one-shot. I was really hoping for the one-shot. Mine gets one-shot. That tells you how bulky this thing is, or at least how the trainer built him. That's insane. How long do we have for Tailwinds for? 2 turns, looks like. Yes. We have 1 more turn of Grassy Glide, or Grassy Surge, and then 2 turns of Tailwind. I'm going to go ahead and just Drain Punch that Arcanine out of here. Bleak Wind Storm kicks off. Someone dodges it. It was the Tornadus. Arcanine just barely holds on. Bleak Wind Storm on their side. Not very effective on the Iron Hands. Rock Slide will one-shot the... will damage the... or knock out Tornadus. It's not necessarily a one-shot. Do you get the flinch, though? You don't. Boop. Boop. Badoop. Badoop, badoop, badoop. Okay. So who's in the back? What do I have in the back? I think it's still 3-1 now? Might be 3-2. Iron Hands heals. That disappears. Oh. 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 Alright, Garchomp, come on out. This is dope. Okay. Garchomp, Rock Slide, and I'm just gonna Thunder Punch you right in the face. You're gonna outspeed me, but that's totally fine. Canceled. Battle's canceled. We went 5-2 today, boys. Let's go. 5-2. That's gonna be the end of today's recorded Pokemon fights. And I gotta say, I am not upset. We went 5-2 today. That's insane. 5-2. We took a lot of games. We lost to a hard Trick Room team. And then we lost against someone because I completely made just nothing but bad plays. Just not like, wow. I was just like, let me reach into my pocket and just pull out all my spaghetti. Like, here you go. That's it. That's all of it. Like, here you go. Bam. Have it all. It's great. Jeez. Oh my God. All right. But that's it. We went 5-2. 5-2. If I was competing this weekend, I'd be on my way to day 2. Bro, what? Well, maybe not. I did go 3-6 in the Portland regional last year, and 5-2. That's 2 games, and I'd be in like round 3, maybe continuing the win. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, that is going to be it for me tonight. So we end at 6,009 with 22 wins, 18 losses, a total of 40 games. Now, remember, we will not be posting anything this weekend because it is going to be the Sacramento Regional Championships
for the Pokemon League, I guess you want to call it, the championship series at least. So obviously I will be watching. My buddy is going to be playing in there. Hopefully I get to see him on stream. And if I do, that's awesome. And if I don't, I'm going to be very upset. JT, you better get on stream. I hope he does really, really well. A buddy of ours named Tyler is also going to be there. I don't know if he's going to be competing, but Tyler, if you ever hear this, cheers to you. Or if you do any of the side events, good luck, have fun. It's going to be insane for the both of you, and I will be rooting for you from here. But as far as you guys go on the YouTube audience and fellow Poke fans, I want to thank you all for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video thus far, go ahead and like the video. And if you didn't, dislike the video. And if you guys want to leave a comment down below, please do so. I do reply to any and all comments that you guys leave behind, and it does help get in contact with you guys, as well as be able to trade ideas. The Discord is almost ready. I just need to finalize some of the details before we can start letting people come in. And then after that, you guys can come in whatever you want. I'll create a link. It'll be in the description. Not this video. Hopefully it'll be ready by Monday after the regional. That way you guys can come in, spam your hellos, and then we can just chat. And if you guys want to battle, I'd be down to battle for like a video or so. So I think that'd be kind of cool. And if not, just to kind of test each other, that'd be dope. You guys will have the complete advantage because you've seen my team all the way up to this point, and I don't know what you guys are playing, which would be amazing. Honestly, closed team sheet fights are probably the most exciting ones. But if you really want to get someone to the heavier stuff, very, very, very heavy stuff, open team sheet is a completely different ball game. Completely different. It's phenomenal how well people play in open team sheet. The mind games that you can get away with is, oh, chef's kiss. I like playing closed just because of the fact that, like, yeah, it's just a mystery. That'd be dope. Kind of takes me back from playing like the original cartridge and just like, oh, trainer wants to fight. But I love open team sheets. They're great. So subscribe if you guys are brand new, or if you guys are a returning viewer. It does help out the channel and the growth of what I would like to try to build someday. The goal for October is to hit 420 subs, but that is a funny number, but it is a goal that is reachable and not something that is unobtainable. I do want to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, and I do think that we can hit that with your guys' help. And I will be eternally grateful if you guys do pitch in and help me reach that goal. So with all that out of the way, that's it. I'm out. I got nothing else to say except have a good day. Have a great weekend. And for the people who work this weekend, I feel ya. I'm rooting for ya. I know that you can do it. Finish strong so you can enjoy your days off. But until next time, most likely Monday. So until Monday, have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will talk to you guys then. See you later.